Okay.
Okay, Discord audio stream.
All right, so I don't know what the audio feedback was with the song that was playing.
Loading.
How is my voice now? Is it okay? Does it work? Does it sound good? How is my voice now? Is it okay? Does it work? Does it sound good? Alex is still getting feedback. Crap! What the hell? Okay. Alex is still getting feedback. What would cause the feedback? What would cause the feedback?
Stream is currently off.
What would cause the feedback? John has no feedback. Frank has feedback. David has feedback. John has no feedback. Frank has feedback. I don't know, guys. Hold on. Don't know, guys. I mean, that should be the only audio that's coming through. It should only be coming through right here. That should be the only audio that's coming through. It should only be coming through right here. It's like a dog whistle. Okay. I don't know. Like, there's nothing. I don't see anything else. That's the only thing that's feeding audio. Oh, I'm getting desktop audio. Hold on. Okay, how's that? Is that better? There was something that was hidden that was also feeding audio into this. So is that better? Fixed. Okay. I'm going to go to the live scene now, and we're going to see if we need anything there. Okay, hold on.
More money.
They've raised the starting salary for PHM teachers to $41,000 a year and increased the ceiling to just over $70,000. The decision was made at a board meeting on Monday. Superintendent Jerry Thacker says a one-time funding increase to the teachers' retirement fund from the governor freed up extra money to go towards the pay increases. He said that PHM is committed to attracting.
Okay, station audio is good? Was that okay? Sweet. Ha! And I've got an embedded widget on my website. So I can just tell people to go watch the live stream on my website now.
He looks so much better. Holy shit.
I don't know if I've seen as many people as angry about something so
still has
small.
2 eyes, but they're bigger. And it makes it look so much better.
Now we are going to continue to hold on to chilly weather and breezy winds throughout today, making it feel even colder. And tonight we bottom out at 8.
You're going to hear the commercials through the monitor right there. So, son of a gun, people. I think we actually have a functioning stream. And I had 0 problems. Wow. I don't have any of my hotkeys set up or anything like that, but cool. Yeah, I don't know about the left channel, right channel stuff on that. I'll have to play with that later and see if that can be fixed. That might just be coming from us. It might just be a mono outlet over there. Sweet. Son of a gun.
Because it's exciting to get a present. But compare excitement over a big box
all right.
that has, say,
I'll have to get my alerts fixed and set up, I think, tomorrow, but the main thing is we are functional, ladies and gentlemen.
Stuff like a blender or espresso machine or little boxes.
I know a lot of people could appreciate an espresso machine. But you know what? That's
I would appreciate one too, especially if it was espresso instead of espresso.
Big
That's
box,
bro. This man do
I'm not a Nazi about many things, but coffee I am.
And we are the little box store. We have those little boxes that excite her and delight her and say love so.
Usually it works fine. All right, I'll look into it, and maybe during a commercial break, I'll see if I can find something.
Our 17,000 team members know that home is so much more than a house. That's because our clients tell us.
It might be a hardware thing as opposed to a software thing, so.
Of Quicken Loans. And we want to help you save money on your mortgage with some of the lowest refinancing rates ever. Rates are historically low.
I have a massive headache, but I feel like I've had a victory.
On your monthly mortgage payment right now. Pay off some credit card debt, or put some money towards that new bathroom or kitchen you've always wanted. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%. APR 4.18%. That's right, 3.99%. While we can't predict what will happen in the future, we do know that rates have dropped, and now is the time to save money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn how refinancing now.
And we've got the old Restream chat back, which I like better anyway.
800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.375% fee to receive this discount rate. For cost information and conditions, equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
All right, here we go.
To the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. This is Casey Hendrickson on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I do want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. If you mention me, you get half off your range time. Tomorrow is Kids Shoot Free Wednesday, which means if you have a shooting parent, kids can shoot for free over at Second Amendment Arms and Range. Go to secondamendmentarms.net again for more information. All right, got some big news. The live stream is back up and functioning. What has it been, like 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Feels like it's been 3 weeks. So it's functioning. And here's the thing. Oddly, knock on wood, that's not real wood. We're hosed. Behind me? All right. That thing. Anyway, no major issues. It's, get this. I have the old, better chat widget back. It's streaming to youtube.com/Casey the host. It's streaming to twitch.tv/Casey the host. And here's the deal. If you want to just watch it on my website, go to theburningtruth.us. I've got a blog post with the video right there. And if you watch it on my website, at theburningtruth.us, you won't be able to interact with the chat. But I also have the chat from YouTube and the chat from Twitch all funneling into the exact same chat widget so everybody can see everybody and interact with everybody. It's awesome. So it's working, and I'm stoked to have it back, especially considering it's been down for so long. And I know that a lot of you have been very patient with me while the computer fiasco happened because of Microsoft. So I also get to gloat a little bit, and I always like being able to gloat. And I'm even going to go to a local newspaper to gloat. Hey, Joe, what caused the, what have I been saying causes the vaping illnesses?
Black market THC.
Which has the vitamin E acetate, right? That's what you cut the black market THC with. And I've been saying this for how long now?
It feels like
it's been at least a year. But yeah, it's like at least 4 months, right? So we've had these things happening for about 4 months. And it was like right after that I came out and I said, because we had 200 people that got sick in like one weekend.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh my gosh, vaping. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. Take a step back. In 15 years and in 10 years when this is really popular, nobody has ever gotten sick from vaping. All of a sudden, we have a couple of hundred people being sick. It's one of two things. Either a bunch of people are doing some illegal stuff with it, which we know is happening, or there is a defective product on the market, okay, which happens, all right? It happens with your lettuce. I don't see any of you stopping eating salads. Happens with your chicken. I don't see any of you stopping eating your chicken. Except maybe Pete Buttigieg, because he doesn't know how to eat fried chicken. But everybody else just goes, all right, that's one thing. We'll go ahead and we'll move on. We'll look at any regulations or anything that might have to happen with that one particular company. So that's what I told people to do. Be patient. Nobody's ever gotten sick from this before. Clearly something unusual is happening. And naturally, the government, which is in bed with Big Pharma and Big Tobacco, and politicians with Big Pharma and Big Tobacco, they all immediately made the push to go after vaping, even though none of the illnesses were tied to over-the-counter vaping products. And Brian Kilmeade and I had a bit of a fight about it at Noise. I was told by listeners that I needed to have a word with Brian, and I let him say a lot. Did I or did I not? I let him just keep going, and I kept looking at the crowd. I just pointed and said, just a minute. Just a minute. I let he and Katie say their piece, and then I just kind of unloaded. And actually, everybody thought that was a really good debate because he and I totally disagree on this. And now, do I send him a text and rub this in his nose, or do I just let it go? Because typically I'm very petty, but I genuinely like Brian.
Flip a coin.
Okay, I'll flip a coin and see if I rub his nose in this. Now let's go to the South Bend Tribune, the local paper who has been pushing the government line on this, that vaping should be banned. Okay? U.S. officials identify the strong culprit in vaping illnesses. Wouldn't you know it? It's vitamin E acetate. Son of a gun. Where have we heard this before? The same chemical compound was found in fluid taken from the lungs of 29 patients. Did you see that one guy just had a double lung transplant because of this? Look, I'm pro-weed, but don't ruin your life with this stuff, okay? 29 patients across the country. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention said the compound, vitamin E acetate, was previously found in liquid from electronic cigarettes and other vaping devices used by many of those who got sick. This is the first time they found a common suspect in the damaged lungs of patients, officials said. No, it isn't, because I read the report that was released almost 2 months ago, which said the same damn thing. It's not the first time. We are in a better place in terms of having one very strong culprit, said the CDC's Dr. Ann Schuchat. Now, the agency says we can't rule out other toxic substances. Yes, you can. I mean, I know you have a job to do and you're going to keep doing it, but if you are a reasonable adult who is capable of thinking beyond a not even fifth grade, 5-year-old's level, you understand that this is the problem. Okay? I've been telling you this for months. Everybody else has been telling you this for months who know this field. Everybody who has gotten sick did illegal black market THC through their vaping device. Even the stupid kid whose parents are blind enough to think their sweet little angel has never done dope before admitted in a USA Today article that he did in fact use black market homemade THC capsules. Was it capsules? Is that what they call them? Whatever. Pods in his device, okay? Even he admitted it, and he's suing Juul, okay? He's suing Juul for his lung damage, but even he admitted he was using the illegal stuff. So it's important that everybody understand this one critical fact. It is exhausting being this right all the time. Exhausting, okay? I'm literally trying to save people's lives here. Okay. Put yourself in my position. Joe's laughing, but put yourself in my position. I do not vape. I do not have a vaping endorsement of any kind, okay? Although the new CBD lotion is made by Juice Mafia, who also happens to be affiliated with eCigWorks, but that's a separate product. And I don't have any vested interest in vaping whatsoever. None. Not a financial component, not any kind of a personal habit component. Nothing. I'm just trying to give you the information that is out there so you don't die by smoking cigarettes. We all know cigarettes kill you. Okay? We all get that. There is a huge debate about secondhand smoke because you were lied to about secondhand smoke most of your life. Okay? But beyond that, we all know cigarettes are bad. So, should we or should we not be endorsing or promoting a product that gets people off of cigarettes more effectively than anything else? You realize the next closest substance, or I should say product, because substance isn't the right way to phrase it. The next closest product that gets people off of smoking cigarettes is only 50% as effective as vaping is. Think about that. It's 50% as effective. Vaping is by far and away the best method to do this. Now, do I like kids running around and sucking this stuff down and blowing smoke and all that other stuff, whatever they're doing? Yeah, I'm just going to start calling it running coal. It just seems appropriate. Do I think that that's a healthy thing to do? No, but I also don't think sucking down Taco Bell all the time is a healthy thing to do either. And if you ask me, the science is pretty darn clear. Sugar and fast food are a heck of a lot more dangerous than vaping is. But if you're going to go ahead and do it, I would rather you do this than smoking a cigarette. And I'm okay with putting restrictions on minors under the age of 18 who are vaping, okay? I'm okay with that. But let's be honest about what is actually happening here. Vitamin E acetate, I told you that this was the case for months now. That is what the CDC now says it is. They have no other suspects. There's no other correlation. Literally everybody in the news who has been tied to this thing has done illegal black market THC products. Every single one of them. There has been no association with these vaping illnesses to legal, over-the-counter, regulated vape juice or products. None. And by the way, we say, well, Juul's being sued because people are using Juul's case. You can't say over-the-counter products. Look, when I take a Juul device or I take a vaping device and then I modify it, that's not over-the-counter anymore. I have now modified it. If you have a gun and you take it and you modify it to be an SBR, the ATF doesn't go, oh, yeah, well, that was over-the-counter, so we're good. That's not what happens, okay? It's not the same product. So once again, the CDC confirms that Casey Hendrickson is right. You all owe me an apology. You're welcome, America. I'm just trying to save your lives. We have more coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Wondering about the weekend? It's always in sight.
With the 5-day forecast at 16 and 46 mornings and afternoons on 95.3 MNC. Casey Hendrickson.
All righty.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table in Niles. 26 years of exceptional food, tremendous service, and great people.
Did Brian call us flyover country?
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, 5-day forecast.
Am I against Taco Bell or just a shill for Big Burger? Guilty.
Temperatures today on top of it are record-breaking cold. Only topping out at 20.
Just trying to help, people. Just trying to help.
Feel even colder. For tonight, we'll hold on to mostly cloudy skies. A few lake effect snow showers remaining with a low of 8 degrees. It's going to feel like it's below zero heading into Wednesday morning.
Heavy left, really weak rights. Off air is good though. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? That might just be. So my old laptop has different plugins for the headphones and the microphones and everything. This laptop has one, and then I have to select which one it is. And I picked line in. I didn't pick mic in. So that's probably what's messing with it.
Yeah, at least some to be desired, but it does a lot of the stuff wrong. It's definitely not their super high-end stuff.
Yeah, and you get to have one card instead of two, and I get it.
It's not an Alien. It's not meant to be a replacement for an Alien.
That's right. They just took some of the Alienware tech and put it in there, but not all of it.
It's an entry-level PC.
Safest, where your children will grow up and where memories are made.
Okay, so I gotta get my website logged into, and I'm pretty sure that that's the reason why. It's just because I picked line in instead of mic in. So I'll try mic in tomorrow, and that should fix the problem. I don't want to mess with it right now because everything's pretty much working. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go. Twitch is dead.
Take a few minutes and talk to our friends at Michiana Family Insurance. Even if you're already covered, things can change. A short conversation can make sure you are prepared and may even
Hold on a second.
money. Protect your home and
I'm refreshing Twitch right now.
Michiana Family Insurance. You'll notice the difference. Call today at 574-231-1500. That number again, 574-231-1500.
Twitch is not dead.
I'm Andy. If you don't know,
So, Tracy, the alerts I think I have to redo tomorrow.
The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying.
I saw that you subbed again. Thank you very much for that.
Overdesigned.
And I don't think the alert worked, but I also don't have any notifications or events in my feed either. So I'm going to have to load those back in so they work. Sorry.
Like by a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail.
Twitch seems to be working just fine.
Offering 100% quality guarantee. Millions of
Somebody said Twitch was dead, but
hair.
Twitch is working just fine on my end.
If you're one of them. And if you're
On
not,
2 computers,
we
so.
hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 1616 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 1616.
The picture.
Enjoy.
Dumbo didn't get censored on Disney Plus.
Did you see how bad that crashed?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see that? Disney Plus went down globally. Like after
They got
3
overloaded?
hours.
They got overloaded or what?
Yeah. So people were saying they woke up at 3 a.m. I came out today and my wife signed up for the trial and she's like, I signed up for Disney Plus. I was going to anyway. She goes, oh, you were? I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to sign up early because they weren't giving any special deals or anything. So I figured I'd sign up now. So yeah, so somebody was saying that they got up at 3 a.m. when it went live and they watched it for 3 hours and then at 6 it crashed everywhere.
I believe that. Hey, this one prepared.
My kids are watching Disney movies all effing morning. It's like, it's great.
But so Dumbo has that the crow scene that's very racially insensitive.
The cartoon Dumbo?
Yes.
Yo!
Your desk has got the computer now.
Yeah, I threw Psycho up there.
Okay.
And then I've got a little shelf up there, but I haven't signed into the computer or anything.
Yes, I need you to sign in before I can get Audition and Office and all that installed.
Do you want me to sign in and leave it signed in tonight, or do you want me
Maybe
to?
till tomorrow morning. Well, either now or until tomorrow morning.
But I mean, I can sign in tonight and leave it if you want.
You could do it during.
You want me to do that? Huh?
You could do it during.
Or you can give me
I can do a news break. I can run up there in like 8 minutes. Okay. Yes, the new Disney streaming service. Might as well talk about it. The new Disney streaming service. So I was already planning on signing up for this thing anyway. I guess none of the Star Wars and Marvel stuff is working anywhere.
I think it's because Netflix still has exclusive deal on that. I don't think their contract has expired yet.
I think it's because it crashed, because The
Well, that
Mandalorian
too.
was supposed to premiere and everything else.
Was that was supposed
Yeah,
to be? Oh.
so I think that's because of the crash. So for those of you who don't know, Disney Plus launched today. Disney Plus is the new streaming platform. And I know before you go, oh, crap, I got to pay for another streaming platform. Disney's a little different. Not only are they going to have original content, you get a ton of the classic Disney movies
everything
that you can't buy. You know, they'll like release Bambi like once a year and you can go buy it for like $50 or something like that. So you can get those movies now. They have a lot of the TV shows, the original content and everything else. And they're launching a bunch of new Marvel and Star Wars shows that are exclusive to the platform. The only thing I don't like that Disney Plus is doing is that they're going to go one episode per week instead of releasing the entire season. I don't know where Disney's been. People like to binge watch. They don't want to wait a week between episodes. So hopefully they change that. That's my only gripe, but it's actually really affordable. It's cheaper than Netflix. You get all this Disney stuff. You got kids. It's obviously huge. My kids were watching Nemo and a couple of other movies and stuff like that today. I came out. My wife said that she signed up for the 7-day trial, and she's like, I just wanted to try. I'm like, I was already planning on signing up, so don't worry about it. Just let it go, and they'll sign it up. But it crashed globally.
I believe it.
Like
it
3
doesn't
hours
surprise
after
me.
it, because it launched.
Really doesn't.
I think it launched like 3 a.m. I don't know what time zone. Like 3 a.m. So people said that they set their alarm. They woke up at 3 a.m. By the way, what a dork you are. Okay, what a dork you are waking up at 3 a.m. to go watch Disney. But anyway, to each his own. It's your own thing. If you wanted to watch The Mandalorian, which is a new Star Wars thing about the bounty hunter, if you want to go ahead and watch that at 3 a.m., so be it. And they said you had about 3 hours of streaming, and then everybody woke up and went and logged in, and the servers went down. By the way, the U.S. works better than anywhere else in the world, apparently. And even in the U.S., several hours ago, before I came into work, you could not get any of the Marvel or any of the Star Wars content.
So they were just giving you like the Disney movies. So that's a good launch. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Sign is what it is.
It's a good problem to have. They had a lot of people sign up for it, and if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to take a look at it. I think there's some package deals with Hulu and some of the others too. Was it Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus for $13 a month or something like that? So you can end up saving some money, but it really isn't that expensive anyway. Like I said, it's cheaper than Netflix, but yeah, massive crashes with the launch of Disney Plus. But like I said, it's probably to be expected, and people are angry about it and irritated about it. But, it's the launch. Everybody logs on at one time. It was like when the FAA decided to tell everybody you had to register your drones. And I said, yeah, have you ever seen the FAA's website? Like, it was built with Dreamweaver 7. And, like, there's no way. Because it was 2 months before the requirement hit. I said, this website's going to crash. And it did. And it crashed in, like, 3 minutes. After Christmas. It was just there's no way it was going to handle that. So.
According to a caller who just called in, the Star Wars stuff is back up and running as of a half hour ago.
Oh, so within the last half hour, Star Wars is up and running. Okay, cool. Well, I'll watch The Mandalorian. That looks good. So, yeah, it did. It crashed, and fans were angry about it and ticked off about it. And like I said, you should have expected it. You should have expected it. Dylan sent me a message on Facebook, says if you have Verizon, you can get Disney Plus for a year for free. The only problem with that is you have to have Verizon. But other than that, oh, gosh. Okay, 574-2595-95-3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. What do we have here? Okay, I had this yesterday. When you're doing a live remote, you can't talk about everything that you want to talk about because you got people in restaurants and kids and stuff like that. And, not that I really do anything. Well, okay, I don't do a lot. I do some, but I don't do a lot that wouldn't be considered kid-friendly. But you're still in a public place, and not everybody is a huge fan or a listener or anything of that nature. So you always have to be careful because you're still in somebody else's business. Schools are already safe, and active shooter drills will, quote, traumatize millions, says Princeton professor. Okay, so I just want to spend a moment here and acknowledge that the professor, he's a sociology professor, Patrick Sharkey, he's correct. Schools are safe. Schools are actually safer now than they were in the 1990s. I know that you would know that because you have a bunch of anti-gun activist groups out there lying to you about how many mass shootings there are, but schools are actually safer now by the data and the statistics by a wide margin than they were in the 1990s. Now, you have heard me say before that when Columbine happened, people in my school, we were looking around and going, why is this a big deal? Now, again, the older you get, you realize that it's a little different what happened there versus what we dealt with on a regular basis. People going to the hospital for my school was a commonplace thing. People getting shot, stabbed. A very common sort of a thing was to get a soda, put it in your sock, and beat somebody until they were unconscious and bleeding all over the hallway. Had one kid thrown through the window where his arm was completely lacerated and all of his tendons and everything were jacked up. He had to come to school. When he did finally come back, he had a whole big cage on his arm where they were attaching his tendons and keeping them connected. These were commonplace things where I grew up. So for us, looking at Columbine, we're like, okay, what's the big deal? And we used to make the joke, all right, it's a bunch of suburban white people that had a shooting and so they don't know how to handle it. Again, you get older, you realize that it was different, okay? But when you were a kid, it didn't resonate with us because we came from a very violent place and a violent school district. At the time, Las Vegas was the most dangerous city to live in the United States, and it was for many, many years. We had huge gang warfare. L.A. gangs were trying to invade at the time. It was a whole mess, which is why the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department became so paramilitary, which worked in getting the gang problem somewhat under control. The problem is that attitude kind of carried over, and now they have some real issues with the way that they police the community there. So this professor is right. Schools are safer now than they were in the 1990s. But in the 1990s, we had active shooter drills. And nobody was traumatized by this. I was a junior, I think was the first year that we had them. They went with the sim rounds and everything, and it's whole loud brouhaha. They never came into my classroom, but they did the hallway thing. You have to practice all of the locking the doors and all that stuff. So they've been doing this since the 90s. Let's not pretend that this is a brand new phenomena and that this is super commonplace or anything like that. Nobody is traumatized by this except for those Indiana teachers who got, was it the paintball? Did they take a paintball or an airsoft? The Indiana teachers that got executed, was it airsoft? I think it was airsoft, right? So they were traumatized. Nobody else is traumatized. Just the teachers who volunteered to be taken prisoner and executed when they were actually fake executed. They were traumatized by that, according to the Indiana Teachers Union, who pitched a fit about it, even though they volunteered. But I digress. So there's some points there. Schools are safer, but it's not going to traumatize anybody. Just like it didn't traumatize us that we would crawl under our desk when a thermonuclear bomb was going to go off and we were all going to die anyway. Here's the thing. You have a chance to survive an active shooting, okay? When I grew up, you were basically getting in an uncomfortable position to die, okay? That's what was happening with us. So while all you little kids out there go, oh, man, you guys didn't have to train for active shooter drills. Well, first of all, we did. But second of all, no, we had to train for thermonuclear war and imminent death. I think we got you beat. Just a smidgen. That doesn't include the earthquake drills, the fire drills, and all the other drills that were out there that, and then, of course, the what do they call it? Mental health drills. We had those mental health drills. That's where you had your buddy Bill, and he would just pull the fire alarm so you all got out of school for a little bit. And he's hanging out on the front lawn while the fire department had to do the mandatory sweep of the school to make sure that everything was okay. But really, it was just a, excuse me, it was just a prank. But now we got cameras everywhere. We didn't have those back then. All right, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. Got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. 95.3MNC.com.
I'm Tommy Lee in the MNC News Center, and among this Tuesday afternoon.
All right, I gotta run upstairs real quick because I've gotta go sign into my computer up there. I'll be back.
ABC 57 meteorologist Emily Kennedy said there were some spots that saw close to 18 inches, and others got a little bit of a reprieve.
Goshen, other portions saw 10 inches, 9 inches in Edwardsburg. South Bend got about 6.5, and then Stevensville, which usually sees higher snowfall totals, got about 4.5 to 5 inches of snow.
Record-breaking cold today has had temperatures barely reaching 25 degrees before falling into the single digits tonight. And a new Monmouth poll in Iowa shows South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg pushing into the lead in the state. The poll suggests that Buttigieg has gained 14 points in Iowa since August, hitting 22%. Joe Biden has dropped 7 percentage points in that same time period to land at 19. That's 1 point ahead of Elizabeth Warren, who has also dropped slightly. Bernie Sanders is in fourth after climbing 5 points to 13%. At this point, they are the only 4 candidates who have qualified for December's debate. It was nearly 12 years ago this week that Senator Barack Obama, by the way, saw a similar surge in Iowa.
Fox News, I'm Steve Rappaport. Public hearings in the impeachment inquiry into President Trump begin tomorrow. Acting Ambassador to Ukraine William Taylor is expected to testify.
He took over after former Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch was recalled from her post by Secretary of State Pompeo. He's already told impeachment investigators he believes Ukrainian officials were aware President Trump wanted to make a deal, what Democrats are referring to as a quid pro quo.
Fox's Julian Turner. The Supreme Court says a lawsuit against the manufacturer of a gun used in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting can go forward.
The justices rejected an appeal from Remington, which has denied wrongdoing and has argued that it can't be sued because of the 2005 law called the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act. The victims who were suing say the Bushmaster AR-15 style rifle used by Newtown shooter Adam Lanza is too dangerous for the public.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America is listening to Fox News.
Weather, served by the Prime Table restaurant in Niles. The Prime Table offers 2 homemade soups prepared fresh every day. Soup included with every sandwich, lunch, and dinner special.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, first warning forecast.
Lake effect snow showers continue today with temperatures only topping out at 24 degrees, which will be record-breaking daytime highs. Now we are going to continue to hold on to chilly weather and breezy winds throughout today, making it feel even colder. And tonight we bottom out at 8 degrees. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
Good gains in wheat and corn follows higher on a turnaround Tuesday. This is the Hoosier Ag Today closing farm market report. Not a lot of news to move the markets. Time for a correction to the upside after a dismal Monday, though. Both the December and March corn contracts finished up 4.5 cents. These going to 377 3/4. March 386.5. May corn 4 points higher at 392 3/4. Beans bouncing around either side of unchanged, and January finished right at unchanged at 917. A 1/4 point lower on March beans, 930 1/4. May unchanged, 942 3/4. December wheat up 11 1/4, 517. We had a mixed day overall in livestock with December live cattle 119.75, closing down 12 cents. But strong in the hog market, December 64.72, up $1.42. I'm Andy Eubank. This is Hoosier Ag Today. Timely, relevant, credible.
The Fox Business Report brought to you by Modern Kitchen, creating dream living spaces so you can redesign, remodel.
I return.
Modern Kitchen on McKinley Shore and Elkhart.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are looking for direction in the final hour of trading after the president talks about the strong economy during his leadership in a speech today at the economic.
Yeah, Al, I'm pretty sure that it's just the station audio because of the way that I had it set up. So we shall get it fixed.
And the NASDAQ is up 60%. Among the gainers today, tech and healthcare companies. And shares of Disney rising more than 1% after launching its Disney Plus streaming service today. Now the platform suffering some technical problems just hours after the launch as demand surged. The entertainment giant spent over $3 billion.
Frank, spend some time looking at the Clark County School District. One of the schools I went to had more girls pregnant than graduating.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
That's why you don't raise your kids in Las Vegas if you can avoid it.
its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Next to your house, your vehicle is one of your biggest investments, and it's important to routinely take care of it. Get oil changes a few times a year, new wheels and suspension, and may even change out a light bulb or two. So if the inside is running great, why not make the outside look just as flawless? Parkwood Auto Spa on Edison Road in Mishawaka and Ireland Road in South Bend can make sure your ride looks pristine and gleaming. They're also home of the Buy 5, Get 3 free. For every 5
So Tracy, I tried wireless headphones once. It doesn't work with the system. For some reason, it creates this massive feedback loop, and I don't know why, because I had really expensive Parrot wireless headphones, and it was a no-go. We could not make it work. I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried, but just doesn't work with the system for some reason. Not quite sure why. Don't forget those likes, please. That would be awesome. I got 42 people watching on YouTube right now.
It's probably because I'm not famous, but I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's.
I don't know. I don't think it counts anything if
most brands were overpriced,
you're watching on my website. I don't think it counts, but
here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy.
they finally gave me a desk, so they're setting up my computer upstairs so I can actually sit here and edit while I'm at work.
And offering 100% quality guarantee.
Because they're not allowed to do that on the private computers. So I'm not allowed to remote in. I need to remote in and work and get things to John, but I'm not allowed to.
With a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 1616 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 1616. Enjoy.
Yeah, you're right, B-dubs. They did. True story. What was I? Was I a junior? I think I was a junior, and I finally had the sex ed class because it was a requirement for electives. And there was a pregnant girl in the class. Yeah. When we watched The Miracle of Life, it was very interesting. That's what you're about ready to go through, Karen.
Chances are you can remember your best decisions.
I don't know if her name was Karen.
Buying that car, having a child, getting away from the rat race, if only for a little while. Now you can add another decision to that list. Moving to a Trilogy Senior Living.
Got tired of listening to the conventional way.
When you make the move to a Trilogy Senior Living community,
It's good to be back, at least for the next day or two, before I get tired.
visit trilogyhs.com to find a community near you.
All right, here we go.
Electric Studios. From the first step to the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. This is Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. 95.3 MNC presents the annual Radiothon for St. Margaret's House. That is going to be, of course, coming up on the 21st and the 22nd. Of course, St. Margaret's House is in the heart of downtown South Bend, helps dozens of local women and children every single day. They serve about 80 women and kids a day. That's the rough estimate of how many that they serve. Sometimes it's more, obviously. So, again, they have classes, they have clothing closets, they help them with resumes and finding work, and budgeting skills, things of that nature. So many things are offered at St. Margaret's House. And, of course, the big one is, some of these women and kids don't have any food. And this is an opportunity for them to get a meal or two a day. And St. Margaret's House has been doing this for a long time in our community. Like I said, it's one of those things we're all kind of united on. I know that you'll probably run into a lot of people that typically would be on the opposing end of politics, but we all agree that St. Margaret's House is an asset to this community, and we support them, and we hope that you will help us support them on November 21st and 22nd. That's a Thursday and Friday, and again, sponsored in part by Judy's Boutique, Impress Jewelry Creations, and Graber Custom Remodeling. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. The Supreme Court will allow, speaking of school violence, will allow the Sandy Hook family's case against Remington Arms to proceed. The Supreme Court has denied Remington Arms their bid to block a lawsuit filed by the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook school massacre. The families say that Remington should be held liable as the maker and promoter of the AR-15 style rifle used in the 2012 killings, which of course makes no sense, but I digress. The court opted not to hear the gunmaker's appeal in a decision that was announced Tuesday morning. The justices did not include any comment about the case. They just simply said, we're not going to hear your case. So that's it. It'll go back down. Now, of course, if Remington wins or loses, it can still be appealed up to the Supreme Court. But Remington was sitting here, looking at this and going, well, first of all, we're already protected by the law. Second of all, you don't sue the manufacturer of something if somebody abused the item that the manufacturer makes, just like you wouldn't sue somebody who made an automobile if somebody decided to drive down the sidewalk and kill dozens of people. Remington had appealed to the highest federal court after the Connecticut Supreme Court allowed the Sandy Hook lawsuit to proceed in March. In recent court filings, Remington says the case presents a nationally important issue. I think they're right about that, about U.S. gun laws, namely how to interpret the 2005 Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, which grants broad immunity to gun makers and dealers from prosecution over crimes committed with their products. And like I said, you don't have to have that same protection with a car because everybody understands it's the person behind the wheel of the car that caused the issue, not the car's manufacturer. Remington manufactured the Bushmaster AR-15 style rifle that Adam Lanza used on December 14th, 2012 to kill 20 first graders and 6 adults at the elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut. The families first filed their lawsuit in December of 2014, saying the Bushmaster rifle never should have been sold to the public because it is a military-style weapon, which, of course, those of us who are shooters know is not true. They accuse Remington of violating Connecticut's unfair trade practices law when it knowingly marketed and promoted the Bushmaster XM15 E2S rifle for use in assaults against human beings, which, of course, they did not do. The closely watched lawsuit has survived many legal twists and turns, moving from state to federal court and back, and repeatedly escaped bids by Remington and gun owners groups to quash it. While the suit initially centered on a claim of negligent entrustment or providing a gun to somebody who plans to commit a crime with it, the case now hinges on Remington marketing the gun. There was just a survey that was done here this week that found that women overwhelmingly prefer AR-15s to any other gun on the market. And part of the reason for that is it is light, easy to handle, accurate, and it allows them to hit the target with ease. That is the point. So all of the things that make an AR-15 such an effective tool are the things that are being used against it right now. So when you argue against an AR-15, you're literally arguing for somebody to be less able to control and use the tool in the manner that is the safest possible way. And, of course, they say, well, bad guys are able to easily use it too. Yeah, I know. That's the point of having this tool, is to be able to use it easily and effectively, and it works. And if you've never shot, you don't know the difference between a rifle and a pistol and how it handles. I get Hollywood goes ahead and they tell you can cock your head all sideways and do it one-handed and everything. You'll hit everything under the sun, but that's just not how things generally go. We'll take your phone calls on this and more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
The original X-Men cartoon.
What's that?
Disney Plus is the original X-Men cartoon.
I heard that. Yeah.
Just call the Prime Table. Reserve tables for your next gathering.
Which is still like the best storyline of X-Men, I think.
Lake effect snow showers continue through today with some heavy snow showers possible this morning.
Despotic, you can sue your knife manufacturer if you cut yourself, as long as it wasn't ASD knives. We are not responsible for how sharp our blades are.
Even colder. For tonight, we'll hold on to mostly cloudy skies. A few lake effect snow showers remaining with a low of 8 degrees. It's going to feel like it's below zero heading into Wednesday night.
If I give it to you point first, you can sue me.
A few flurries in our forecast.
This coming from a guy who nearly chopped his finger off with one of my knives. That's the healing, by the way. It's okay. My car cut me.
That was forever ago. That healed fine.
My car cut me today. I'm waiting to get all sorts of AIDS in my skin and die.
Yeah, I don't even think I have a scar. Totally forgot that I did that.
Do you hear that? Joe said that my knife cut him so good he didn't even have a scar. It healed flawlessly.
Oh, you can kind of see where it was if you look. You can kind of see a slight line.
Yeah.
But it looks like just part of the fingerprint.
Oh yeah, Roland's got the air raids in elementary schools.
Hi, I'm Mike Bernard, financial advisor.
Sue the car company? I know, right? How do you sue Plymouth? Because they're not around anymore. I mean, I suppose in a roundabout way I could go after GM, right? Wasn't Plymouth a GM thing?
Yeah.
Well, no, Dodge Chrysler Plymouth. Were they a separate company or were they GM? Neither do I.
Most people have at least 5 different.
Neither do I. You know what? I'm going to get the chat up on this computer because I think that will be easier.
Did you see the Final Jeopardy dude?
Heard about it.
He had $2,000 in Final Jeopardy while lost 2 opponents at like 20 grand. So he just threw Final Jeopardy. It was a really heartfelt moment.
I heard that it made Alex all chokety.
Yeah, he did. He was very unstable.
Turn to the experts at Four Winds Custom Heating and Air Conditioning and Carrier to get up to $1,650 in Carrier factory rebates on qualifying equipment. Plus, get a $79 clean.
Oh, because he had just announced that he was going back into treatment.
Oh, I didn't know that he had announced that. I assumed it had something to do with cancer.
He had just announced that he was going back into treatment.
I gotcha.
And so the dude was like, well, I'm going to throw it anyway. And there's no way I can win unless they absolutely bomb and had everything. So
right.
They probably didn't. So he just went ahead and threw it.
Sale prices are good through Saturday, November 16th.
Okay, I didn't know if Chrysler and Plymouth were originally a part of GM or not. So,
Michiana's News Channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
Your breaking news and weather station.
oh look, the news is running with the story about the guy who got 2 new lungs from vaping illegal drugs through his vaping device, but they're not talking about the CDC confirming that yours truly was correct. Is vitamin E acetate, which is only used in the dopers who are, not that there's anything wrong with being a dope head, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that when you're an excessive dope head and you're plugging up your lungs and then trying to blame a product that's not responsible for it, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for you. So they're covering the person getting the double lung transplant, not why he's having to get a double lung transplant. I'm sure that this is why I don't donate my organs. Because I can't say, no, my lungs aren't going into somebody who smokes dope through a vape device. If I had the ability to have a line item veto on that, then I would donate my organs. But I'm not going to. So if you want my organs, you're going to have to earn it while I'm alive, and then I will donate the ones that I don't need to survive for all of you. Because, again, this guy's been vaping THC products through his vaping device, ruined his lungs, and now he's getting 2 brand new lungs. And guess what? He's going to keep doing it. It's not going to stop him. Anyway, 574-25-95-95-3, talking about the Remington Arms lawsuit. Supreme Court refused to hear Remington's case. So the Newtown, Connecticut lawsuit against them because they manufacture the Bushmaster rifle that was used in that shooting can go forward. Lynn, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Casey. Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe it's a good thing. It goes to court. They set a precedent, and then it can't be sued anymore because, like you said, there's so much evidence against it. They shouldn't be able to win anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, this could always still end up back in the Supreme Court. I think everybody has to kind of keep that in mind. And the Supreme Court didn't give a reason why. I think Remington was hoping that, look, we've already got a law on the books. Let the Supreme Court settle this now. And the Supreme Court's probably like, let it get through the lower courts first, and then we'll handle it. So that way there's a natural order of things. That's what I'm thinking is going on, but I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, and look, I mean, if Remington should never lose this case. I mean, they should. Obviously, because it's a real simple argument. They don't advertise this thing to go hunting innocent people. That's never been done, and that's an argument in the plaintiff's case. That's never been done, and they don't have any responsibility for how people use their device, just like a car manufacturer or any other manufacturer for that matter. More people are killed with hammers in this country than AR-15s, and nobody is suing Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, or any of the others.
Right. So, it's like I'm going to sue the spoon manufacturer because I'm overweight.
Right. It's the spoon. The spoon shoved it in your mouth. You didn't do it.
People like you and I with common sense and logic, we're like, I don't know what to say to that. It's like, what?
Well, we don't know what to say. See, we don't know what to say to it, and that's why we're not in elected office. Because we can't get elected with common sense. Let's be honest. All right, I appreciate it.
For sure.
Thank you much.
No problem. Have a good day.
All right, take care. Here's the thing. I could never come up with what Elizabeth Warren has said about how she is going to fund her Medicare for all. I could never come up with that because I would be thinking about it and going, wow, this is really stupid. So I could never let it even leave my mouth. But if you're a politician, then hey, whatever. Jeff, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, Casey, you already rained on my parade, man. I mean, if they go after the guns, they'll go after the cars, they'll go after the hammers, they'll go after everything.
I don't think they will. That's the problem. I think they'll just go after the guns. I don't think they're going to go after those things. And I think that's Remington's big case. Look, if you're going to go after us, then you have to go after everybody else. Now, the retort to that is, yes, but cars are not manufactured to kill people. Guns are, and that's not true. Guns aren't manufactured to kill people. Guns are manufactured for all sorts of various reasons. It just so happens that most of them have the ability to take somebody's life if need be. But it's also manufactured as a self-defense device. It is not manufactured as an offensive device, but it can be used as an offensive device by the wrong person.
Right. Anyway, they're just a bunch of clowns up there honking their horns in their clown cars. And to the more serious point of it, thank you and all the other members that defended our country.
Well, thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. You
Bye.
take care. Yeah. Good Veterans Day yesterday. And, of course, Prime Table. Thank you to everybody who came out, by the way, and saw us at Prime Table. I really do appreciate it. It was a big success, even with the horrible weather, which ended up being even worse today. A new ethics complaint has been filed against the impeachment whistleblower / leaker. A new whistleblower has filed a complaint with the Intelligence Community Inspector General against the individual that sparked the House Democrats' impeachment inquiry against Trump. So just so we're clear, we have a new whistleblower with a new whistleblower complaint, not against Trump, but against the whistleblower who whistleblowed against Trump. whistleblowed, however you say it. So we've got a whistleblower whistleblowing on the whistleblower, okay? The complaint obtained by Fox News and confirmed by the Washington Times. I've been shoveling snow for like 8 hours today, all right? Leave me alone. The complaint obtained by Fox News and confirmed by the Washington Times alleges that the still unnamed whistleblower has violated federal law by soliciting a gift from more than 6,000 individuals via GoFundMe page. Uh-oh! I don't even think I knew about a GoFundMe page. The account was created in September by a group called Whistleblower Aid and pushed by the impeachment whistleblower's attorney online. That might be a big problem. It is soliciting a gift, and you can't do that, okay? You don't whistleblow to get rich. And part of the problem with this lawyer is that they've been offering money for people to be whistleblowers against Trump. So they've been offering free legal representation and cold, hard cash. It's basically a bribe. The GoFundMe has raised $277,500 as of Tuesday morning. That is a lot of dumb people. The new whistleblower's attorneys say that their client believes these donations are coming from prohibited sources. They're requesting the Inspector General investigate whether any of the donations came from foreign agents. Hey, for the record, this whistleblower is not guaranteed anonymity either. But you have to say that they must remain anonymous, and nobody is allowed to out this new whistleblower because the old whistleblower, that's the argument made for them. The most concerning allegation that my client believes is that the federal employee that you are protecting and their attorneys apparently have strategically weaponized their alleged whistleblowing activities into a very lucrative money-making enterprise. Why does the whistleblower need $277,000? They're getting representation for free. They don't even need legal representation. Their job is not in jeopardy, okay? So why do they need $277,500? I'm sure it's more than that now. Why do they need that? The answer is they don't. You're simply paying them because they are speaking out against a person that you don't like and want out of office. Let's see. The GoFundMe effort is described as a means to support the lawyers of a U.S. intelligence officer. It specifically states donations will only be accepted from U.S. citizens, but many of the donations were made anonymously, which, of course, could be a problem. The impeachment whistleblower's lawyers are standing by the fundraising effort. So they're offering their legal services to people free and paying those people, okay? So you can now also draw the line, since they have offered monetary reward for people to come forward and be whistleblowers in the past, and yet they're recouping it through crowdfunding campaigns. So really what they're doing is having the taxpayer, the person with soliciting gifts, actually subsidize payments to whistleblowers, which is a huge ethical problem in the U.S. legal system. We've got, of course, a lot more coming up on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, but the live stream is up. It is back. Finally, you can go to youtube.com/CaseyTheHost, twitch.tv/CaseyTheHost. You can even watch brand new on my website at theburningtruth.us. Just look at the latest blog post if you don't want to interact with the chat. We got more coming up. 95.3 MNC.
WTRC-FM and HD1, Niles, South Bend, Elkhart.
Whew, all righty.
All right.
Republicans preparing for open testimony tomorrow in the House impeachment probe. Fox's Jared Halpern's live on Capitol Hill. For the first time in
I mean, moving to Elkhart wasn't so bad until that election happened. And then I realized that Elkhart doesn't do a damn thing for their roads. I literally went down Cassopolis, and one lane on each side, the inside lane, so the middle of the road, was plowed. The other sides were not. I don't know what Elkhart is thinking, but it was a disaster today.
Attorney Rudy Giuliani, in a letter to colleagues, committee chairman Democrat Adam Schiff says the inquiry will not further shame investigations into the Bidens.
Well, I mean, you know, truthification, I appreciate that, and I'm also aware of that. You know, the Midwest wasn't accustomed to the type of things that we were accustomed to, and certainly Columbine wasn't accustomed to that as well. But, you know, it's just where I grew up. You know, I just grew up in a crap place with a lot of violence and, you know, routine of people getting shot or seriously hurt. It was just one of those things. So, you know, everybody grows up in a different place, and there's nothing wrong with that. But those experiences, of course, shape them when they grow older.
White House. The widow of Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings running for her late husband's seat in a special election.
Yeah, get out while I have a chance.
Represented parts of Baltimore for decades. He died last month at the age of 68. His surviving wife, Maya Rockymore Cummings, is now resigning her post.
No, we did not have tornado drills. We had earthquake drills. No tornadoes where I'm from. I mean, I think I saw 2 tornadoes my whole life, and I'm not counting dust devils because those are not tornadoes, even though technically they are. I got nailed by a dust devil once. I was playing catch with my mom outside, and turned around and it went right over me. Boop. I was right in the middle of it. Got some nice sandpaper burn on me.
I'm Tommy Lee in the MNC News Center, and among this afternoon's top stories, the early morning lake effect snow left its mark across Michiana.
Oh, excuse me, damn. These are good energy drinks. So these are Meltdown, but they are keto friendly. So it's got 7,500 milligrams of ketones in it to kind of kick ketosis. So, and Sean over at NHQ said they don't taste that great, but the peach was good. This is the Great Blade Lemonade. It's also good. These are good. I dig them.
A teenager was transported to a local hospital following a crash in Cass County last night. Police were called to the crash on M60 near Barron Lake Road just after 10:15.
But ketosis is what burns off your fat for energy instead of carbs.
Headed in the same direction. The woman was unharmed, but a teenage passenger received minor injuries. The truck driver was uninjured.
You still have the drills. Yeah, I think northern Michigan, you have like a possibility of getting them though, right? Yeah, we had nuclear drills, we had earthquake drills, fire drills, obviously. In high school, we had the active shooter drills, but I'm trying to think of anything else that we had. I don't think we had anything else.
Fees associated with hunting and fishing account for more than 90% of the agency's $42 million wildlife conservation budget.
That's 95.3 MNC's Brian Davis.
For a long time in elementary school, it felt like we had atomic bomb drills like once a month. Like they were constantly doing it.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, first warning forecast.
Lake Michigan showers continue today with temperatures only topping out at 24 degrees, which will be record-breaking daytime highs.
Hashtag
Now,
whistleblowed.
we'll continue to hold on to chilly weather and breezy winds throughout today, making it feel even colder. And tonight we bottom out at 8 degrees. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
This is ABC 57 Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs. Winter weather is once again the top news story today. That means more frequent forecasts and information to keep you informed all day long. So keep it here on 95.3 MNC,
your breaking news and weather station.
Hi, this is Dr. Roger.
Now, water spouts are generally not as powerful as land tornadoes, but they can still be ugly.
Reader's Choice Best Local Dentist 18 times. Not only that, we were also voted Michiana's Best Employer. If our employees feel that way, imagine what that means for you. That's right, if they love their job, it means better care for you and your family. That's what patient-friendly dentistry is all about. Our team of doctors actually listen to your needs and concerns. Haven't seen a dentist in several years? That's okay. We won't make you feel bad or expect you to do everything all at once. We'll do everything possible to ensure you get
We won't make you feel bad. Isn't part of the reason you go to the dentist so they can shame you into brushing your teeth and flossing and stuff? It's kind of part of it, right? Because if you show up with like 4 or 5 cavities, they can't like make you feel good about yourself, can they? Wouldn't they not be doing their job at that point?
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage
Asking
lender.
for a friend.
Let's talk credit card debt for a minute. If you feel you're carrying too much of it, you're not alone. The average household in the U.S. carries
Oh
over
yeah, the Indiana
$8,000
convict
in
story.
credit card debt. Ready for some good news? With a cash-out refinance from Quicken Loans, you can quickly and easily put some of the equity in your home to good use.
Did you get YouTube's email about their new terms of service?
A great way to take
I
cash
didn't
out
get
is
an
with our
email, but when I
30-year
logged into
fixed rate
YouTube,
mortgage. The
I
rate today
saw
on our
the
30-year fixed rate
notification.
mortgage is 3.9.
Their email is bull. Their email is basically, oh yeah, it's just going to make things a little bit easier to understand. No, their new terms of service is basically if you're not commercially viable, we can delete your whole channel.
Highest in the nation in customer
Yeah.
satisfaction for
Oh, you
private
probably got an
mortgage
email.
origination. Call
You
us
have a
today
channel.
at
I don't have a
800
channel.
Yeah, okay, that could be.
For JD Power reward information.
But they make it seem like, oh yeah, it's just an update in terms, so it's easier to understand. No, it's a whole change, whole different ball game. All right, here we go.
Commercial electrical done right. This is Casey Hendrickson on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number, 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I do want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range. Don't forget, if you go there, mention me, get half off your range time. You also can use that extra money to buy some targets, buy some bullets, including the house ammo. The house ammo is fantastic. They're also known for having hard-to-find ammo. So if you've been looking for a particularly difficult caliber to find, they usually have something like that in stock. Contact secondamendmentarms.net for more information about all of that. Indiana is going to pay a convicted killer $425,000. Okay, why are we going to do that? Well, it's a good question. Indiana has agreed to pay a convicted killer $100,000 for each of the 4 years that he spent in solitary confinement, according to a Sunday report. Jay Vermillion is serving a decades-long sentence for murder and other offenses, the Indianapolis Star reported, citing an October settlement between him and the state. State law says the maximum allowable solitary confinement term is 30 days. Officials then have to conduct a review. Starting in 2009, Vermillion was put in solitary at Westville Correctional Facility. The attorney, Maggie Filler of the Chicago-based MacArthur Justice Center, said Vermillion was given more time without an explanation. Most people who enter prison are one day going to get out, Phil said, and they're going to be living in free society, so it's incumbent upon us to make sure that the prison experience is more rehabilitative than it is just purely destructive. Vermillion described his conditions in solitary as a cold concrete tomb. He had no direct contact with others. And I'm not feeling sorry for the guy either. Okay, I'm just letting you know what the story is. Indiana Department of Corrections spokesman Dave Burston said that the agency settled the case to avoid uncertainties and expenses in litigation. The department denies any wrongdoing. The 59-year-old Vermillion was convicted of murder in 1997. He's now detained at Pendleton Correctional Facility. So, again, the prison system is denying any wrongdoing. They just said that they settled, but $425,000 going to this guy because they say that he was in solitary confinement for 4 years. Now, whether or not that is accurate, they settled, so not much else you can do about it. 574-25-95-95-3. In Michigan, on the other side of the border, there's some interesting things happening with the Attorney General. The Michigan Attorney General ordered a raid of the City of Detroit's IT department office Friday over the mayor's special treatment of his alleged mistress. It's like it's the city of Detroit. The raid was part of an ongoing investigation into allegations that Mayor Mike Duggan's chief of staff, Alexis Wiley, ordered workers to delete emails to the Detroit Free Press reports from a report by the Detroit Inspector General. The emails were related to the prenatal care program, Make Your Date, and they were deleted in order to hide the government's support for the program. Wow. Michigan law dictates that it is illegal to destroy public records. Hey, you know who else has that law? The federal government. You know who violated that? Hillary. Just wanted to go ahead and point that out. 60-year-old Duggan has a personal relationship with the head of Make Your Date, 50-year-old gynecologist and obstetrician Dr. Sonia Hassan, and has been videotaped entering and leaving a residence that Hassan also entered, according to the Free Press. Make Your Date is a charity working to prevent premature births affiliated with Wayne State University. We are cooperating fully with the Attorney General's investigation. In fact, I spend much of my day working closely with her staff. That is the Corporation Counsel, Lawrence Garcia. Duggan's wife filed for divorce following the release of the videos and after the Office of the Detroit Inspector General, its review of Duggan's and the city's relationship with Make Your Date and Hassan back in May. Interesting. Wow, so the mayor's got this inappropriate relationship with this lady and then helped put the government basically in a position to participate with this program, which the government wasn't supposed to be a part of, and then ordered everybody to delete the emails so that way they could hide the fact that the government was supporting this guy's girlfriend's program. Like I said, it sounds like Detroit. Duggan allegedly used his position to promote, financially support, and order a fundraising campaign on Make Your Date's behalf, which began with an August 7th email from Duggan's chief of staff to Hassan titled Make Your Date Fundraising. So I'd like to, I wouldn't care about the emails. Yeah. Let's see. Friedrichs. Who is Friedrichs? Anyway, Friedrichs then responded to the email promising to lend all three of our lead development offices to the discussion and saying that they would have a meeting to discuss the matter at Duggan's office. Nice. So, like I said, same old Detroit, right? 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. But look, Detroit, I mean, you keep electing these people. So I don't know what you want. Nobody has any sympathy for you anymore, honestly. We just don't. It's like Washington, D.C. Like, nobody has any sympathy for the city limits of Washington, D.C. anymore because you keep electing the craziest people in the world. Brian, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just have a quick comment about the gentleman that's getting paid for being in solitary confinement.
Yes.
I believe that money should be donated to the family of the person that he murdered, honestly. I don't think he should profit from that at all.
You know,
my personal opinion.
Yeah, and I wonder if he was ordered to pay any restitution or anything like that. Because if he was ordered to pay any restitution, then you could apply that to it, right?
Right, I would think so.
So, yeah, and I don't know. I don't have his original conviction, but it's $425,000. Okay, let's just say that they did it. Let's say that they did violate the law when they did it. I still don't care. That doesn't mean it's not illegal. I'm with you. I just don't care. And yeah, you can award it to him, and then you can find his the money that he's earned in this lawsuit. And he can find its way to his victims. I don't know how many victims. I mean, he's in there for quite a while, so I don't know how many victims he has. But because they said murder and then other crimes too. So there's going to be other victims that are involved. And make the money divert to them.
No amount of money is going to replace a life, but it would help the families, I'm sure.
Yeah, nearly $500,000, you bet. And make it tax free too, or make him pay the taxes, but they get the full $475, and then he has to pay the tax bill on it. Then you can get the guy for non-payment of his taxes, and then you can keep him in there for longer. See how this works? We've got
it. For me. Keep up the good work.
All right, man. I appreciate it. You take care.
Take care.
All right. See, if you just elected me overlord, people, you'd only have to vote for me one time because you never get to vote for me again. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Michiana family
Weather served up by the
Okay.
26 years of
Oh.
food, tremendous service, and great people. Visit Prime Table today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Friggin' Daily Caller again. Damn.
Specialist 5-day forecast.
That website, dude.
Temperatures slowly warm and
It kills the entire browser.
the weekend. Wednesday is still cold, near record cold in the morning, starting in the single digits and only getting to the upper 20s by the afternoon. This is Wednesday night. Mostly cloudy Thursday, a high of 34. Back in the teens Thursday night. 34 and sunny on Friday, then back in the teens again for early Saturday. Saturday is a nice day, mostly sunny, the high 36.
Chief Development Officer, okay.
By Sunday, with partly cloudy skies. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs.
This is Karen Schneider, Executive Director of the Markets House in South Bend. We're here to help improve the lives of women and children by providing individual attention to their immediate needs, to break the bonds of isolation, and help them acquire skills to better their lives. It's our belief that each woman is talented and gifted and deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. With a staff of Just Aid and crew of 150 volunteers, we serve over 80 women and children a day. We'd like you to join us for 2 special days on the radio as we tell the story of St. Margaret's House and hope that you donate. With the success we've had helping so many of our guests to take positive steps forward, we at St. Margaret's House are grateful to be embraced by the whole community.
This is Casey Hendrickson, your host for the St. Margaret's House Radiothon, set for November 21st and 22nd, and proudly sponsored by Judy's Boutique, Impress Jewelry Creations, and Graver Custom Remodeling. On News Talk 9,
Alrighty.
Michiana's news channel,
your news weather station. Hi, this is
It's a lot of commissary ramen.
I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast and for a fair price, call me at 574-294-5678. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and in any location. I am not a realtor or associated with any realty company. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month and want to buy even more. Call me at 574-294-5678. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses.
Ah, crap. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do that other vaping story that I had like days ago.
Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying damaged houses too. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 574-294-5678 for a cash offer today. That's 574-294-5678.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that
Did you watch the MIT's
gave you access to
robots playing
world-renowned
soccer?
faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most
So
influential
they not only
CEOs,
played
tech
soccer,
companies,
they took a bunch of them out there and they basically had a dog park experience with them.
degree in as little as 16
They were fighting, they were playing, they were doing backflips and all sorts of stuff. We're totally gonna die. Like,
Start
Oh,
on the
yeah.
path to
They're gonna
earn
rip
your
us to
MBA
pieces.
Or business analytics master's degree.
Nothing we can do
online
about
from
it.
the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the
Oh, yeah, the
top-ranked
Cheetah
W.P.
robots.
Carey
Yeah.
School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online.
Your wife is now
Text
in my
drive to
suggested friends list.
79645. That's
she probably won't accept it.
DRIVE to
I
79645.
haven't met her in person.
So many people try to get to me through her.
Unbelievably huge savings on all of our products.
Here's the thing.
It's our employee
I'm already
discount
too
Black
young.
Friday
I know
sale with savings of up to 52%, plus manufacturers' winter discounts and no payments, no interest
the first
for 18
snow of the
months.
year. No, it's
Wow.
not.
Go to
It's in
bwindow.com
January.
for all the details.
Prove it.
You don't remember January.
I don't remember any snow in January. I don't know what you're talking about.
Then it started affecting my daily life. My hernia was stopping me from doing what I enjoy. That's when I learned about robotic surgery at St. Joe. With a simple outpatient procedure, I was back to normal in days.
Oh, yeah, I've got the income tax brackets for 2020.
I've turned time sitting out into time cherishing the people I love. Get back to the things you enjoy. Schedule your hernia assessment today. Call 1-833-300-WELL.
Through the Next Level Roads Plan, the Indiana Department of Transportation is investing more than $60 billion improving and maintaining Indiana's highways over the next 20 years to keep our economy moving and make your drive safer and smoother. Do your part to keep everyone safe. Slow down in work zones, put down your cell phone, and pay attention. Download the INDOT mobile app to learn about road projects and traffic conditions. Available in the App Store and on Google
They
Play.
changed
And visit
the
nextlevelroads.com.
Guido scene.
Wake up with us first
Again?
thing weekday mornings for your top news, weather, and
Probably.
during Michiana's morning news on 95.3 MNC, your breaking news and weather station.
There was
Michiana
snow on
family.
Halloween. Tracy's right.
Michiana family.
Okay. There was snow on Halloween. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Got to talk to you about Michiana Family Insurance. Here's the deal. Buying insurance is a pain in the neck. We all understand that. All right. So what a lot of us do is we take the shortcut. The problem is that the shortcut, we hop online, we go to a website, maybe we go to two websites, or maybe we go to one website that is supposed to use different insurance companies to give you a quote from multiple companies, and then you just take it because you don't want to deal with the hassle of buying insurance. What if I told you that there was a place you could go to locally that could do that for you and would make the process easier? That's Michiana Family Insurance. They don't just do car insurance and life insurance and all that, but if you have a business, they do your business insurance, okay? So they've got tons of different services for you. It's like commercial insurance, auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance, and more. So go check them out, MichianaFamilyInsurance.com. Of course, when you go see them, please let them know that I sent you. But the big part is they're going to have professionals that are going to sit there. They're going to make this easy for you, okay? They're going to walk you through the process. They're not going to make you do everything. And they're going to ask you questions. And this is important because a lot of places online, they just have packages. So you have to buy one of the packages, right? What if the package is not good enough for you? Or what if you're paying too much because you have coverage that you don't need and would never apply to your circumstances? That's where the professionals at Michiana Family Insurance come in. They can tailor your insurance specifically to what you need to protect you, your family, your assets, your business without overcharging you, having you pay for services that you'll never use, and without having you have too little coverage so you have to pay out of pocket when something happens. Go to MichianaFamilyInsurance.com. Again, let them know that I sent you, or give them a call at 574-231-1500. That's 574-231-1500. Okay. Klopfer, the abortion doctor from South Bend, Fort Wayne, who has the fetal remains and his private property, of course, now died. Former patients are now speaking out over this. The Daily Caller had this story 4 days ago, and I posted it on Facebook. I haven't had an opportunity to get to it yet. Patients of the infamous Ulrich Klopfer told tales of fear and violence that they experienced at the hands of the late abortion doctor, saying that Klopfer operated without any concern for his patients. Well, he's an abortion doctor, so don't all abortion doctors at least operate without concern for at least one of the patients? These stories come after family members found 2,246 medically preserved fetal remains on the 79-year-old abortion doctor's Illinois property in September. Authorities later discovered another 165 fetal remains stashed in the trunk of one of his cars. Klopfer, who died on September 3rd, ran 3 abortion clinics in Indiana during his lifetime He performed over 30,000 abortions since he began operating in 1974. The abortion doctor's patients spoke out about Klopfer's harsh bedside manner and occasionally violent behavior towards them in interviews that were aired on Wayne 15 TV, which is a CBS affiliate in Fort Wayne. We also previously had covered some of his peers who had worked with him, who had very, very bad things to say about him, professionally speaking. And we talked about that on the show before, but this is the first time that we've actually had some of the victims speaking. I'm not going to play the audio, but Jessica Bowen obtained an abortion from Klopfer at the age of 18 in 2013. She told Wayne TV and she detailed an experience full of fear and violence. Quote, "It was excruciating," she told the TV station, saying that she arrived at the clinic anxious about her upcoming abortion. "It was so painful." Klopfer performed the abortion with little regard for Bowen and refused to stop the procedure even when she begged him, ordering a nurse to cover her mouth. "I begged him and asked to stop. I started screaming and crying, and I said, 'Please stop. I don't want to do this anymore.' And he looked at the nurse and told her to keep me quiet because I was going to scare the other patients." Former patient Abby Witt, who was 18 when she received an abortion from Klopfer at his South Bend, Indiana clinic in 2013, said Klopfer ordered her to shut up and stop crying during the abortion. "At one point, I was crying and screaming because of the pain and the trauma, and he told me to shut up and stop crying. I just remember being scared of him. I don't think he cared about the patients at all." Again, all abortion doctors at least don't care about one of the patients. Kelly Bowker received an abortion from Klopfer in 1992 at the Fort Wayne clinic at 17 years old. She described how he didn't want to know her name and didn't offer advice or counsel. He just came in, did what he wanted to do, and then he left. Another patient, Serena Dykeson, said that she obtained an abortion at Klopfer's South Bend clinic after someone close to her raped her. After the procedure, she described being in horrible, horrible pain and weak. Klopfer yelled at her for yelling in pain, she said. There was just no care, no compassion at all. He was just a very nasty man. Even afterwards, when I went to recover, I ended up hemorrhaging everywhere, and he never came back in to even check on me. He just sent me home. When I stood up, blood just went everywhere, she told Wayne TV. And abortion clinics don't want to have emergency procedures. "So my dad had to carry me out. I was so weak and I was so busted, and I was 13. 13. Klopfer's license to perform abortions in both South Bend and Gary, Indiana were revoked. In 2015, the Indiana Medical Licensing Board indefinitely suspended his license in August of 2016. Let's see. By the way, Vice President Mike Pence pushed that when he was the governor of the state. He pushed for Klopfer to lose his license. The horrific discovery of 2,246 fetal remains in abortionist Dr. Klopfer's Illinois home is appalling and should shock the conscience of every American, Pence tweeted in September. "While I was governor in Indiana, we took his medical license away and passed a law requiring fetal remains to be treated with dignity." The Indiana Medical Licensing Board found Klopfer guilty of 5 allegations, according to WNDU, citing a Right to Life of St. Joseph County press release. The board's mood appeared to change when Klopfer admitted that he did not report the rape of a 10-year-old girl by a family member, according to an anti-abortion group. Now, by the way, there was just another undercover operation that found Planned Parenthood refusing to report a rape. And again, it wasn't real, thank God, but it was clearly the raper taking the girl in and Planned Parenthood refusing to file the report and notify authorities as they are required to do by law. The board found Klopfer guilty of both failing to report abortions performed on 13-year-old girls within 3 days as required by law and failing to keep up professional and medical standards. So this all happened in 2016, but these stories go back to the 90s. I think, was it 1992 was the earliest one? 1992 was the earliest one in the Wayne TV report. The board also found him guilty of failing to obtain consent from patients at least 18 hours before the abortion procedure, of failing to provide qualified staff to monitor anesthesia, and for submitting over 1,800 erroneous or omissive termination of pregnancy reports. Like I said, he was a piece of work. Professionals who worked with him didn't like him, have nothing but horrible things to say about him. His patients had nothing but horrible things to say about him. And now we find out that for some strange reason, this guy is keeping thousands of these fetal remains in his own private property after his license has been pulled and he's no longer allowed to practice anyway. God only knows why. And I don't believe I don't think that they've identified a reason why he's keeping these fetal remains at all. I haven't heard a theory. And again, he kept them in his car, kept them in his garage. Was it 2,300, I guess, or near 2,300 as when you add the extra ones in there? Almost 2,400 when you add the other ones from the car. So this guy is a real piece of work, but the patients were speaking out. I'll put this in the Daily Show prep, which will include the video if you wanted to go ahead and watch the video of the patients. 2,411 was the total of the fetal remains that he kept on hand. So we'll put this in the Daily Show prep at theburningtruth.us. Want to remind everybody that we are live streaming again. It is back up. We are on YouTube and Twitch at Casey the Host. If you would like to watch on my website, you won't be able to interact with chat, but if you want to just watch on my website, go to theburningtruth.us. If you have the mobile app, you can go ahead and just click on the blog post for the live stream. You should be able to see it right there. We have more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. MNC. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
I'm Tommy Lee in the NNC.
Derp.
And among our top stories this afternoon, the early morning lake effect snow hit some of us harder than it hit others. ABC 57 meteorologist.
Yeah, man, we got like at least a foot.
I heard someone measured and got 18 inches over the past 2 days.
So my backyard clearly has 18 inches. Clearly. So I've been saying 18 inches, but I know officially it won't be 18 inches, even though Yeah, yesterday and today, there's 18 inches of accumulation in my backyard.
Today was 12 inches. Today.
Yeah, it's deep. Almost taller than my dog.
The judge says President Trump has let veterans down. The needs of female veterans have been neglected for too long. The former Navy intelligence officer pointed to concerns of sexual harassment and gaps in access to women's health. He says a woman leading the VA could help spur cultural changes. Women are the military's fastest growing group, comprising about 17% of those enlisted. The judge's plan would also boost core VA healthcare, including suicide prevention.
95.3 MNC's Caleb Hatch reporting.
Kelly.
News. I'm Steve Rappaport. The fate of a controversial immigration program now rests in the Supreme Court's hands.
Yeah, Kathy, no, I agree. I've been saying 18 all day. In my backyard, it's at least 18. Out front, in some spots, it's 12, but we also cleared a little away yesterday, so... But there's spots near the street that are taller.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington, an opinion is expected by late June.
Thank you, Shrewd. Shrewd is just giving a follow on Twitch.
The whistleblower at the center of the probe, Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff says that won't happen. A push on Wall Street.
So you need to do that eSoup Works when you come back because you have an impress in the 46.
God dang, man.
Yeah.
Javis. That's what happens when you're popular. Oh, that's why I'm not getting any text. I'm logged into WOWO system. Jesus. Oops.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, first warning forecast.
Record cold is possible tonight. The more clouds break, the colder it will get, and we could fall into the single digits. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday. A high of
I actually bought like a legit pair of gloves today.
Still mostly cloudy on Thursday.
I usually just buy like a cheap like $4 pair because I don't use them that much, but I actually bought some real gloves. They have like a little zipper pouch right here. Put your key or your drugs or whatever you're doing right there in your gloves.
Remember kangaroo shoes?
Nope.
That had the zipper on the actual shoe. It's like right there.
Like chick shoes? I don't remember. Like for dudes?
Yeah, my brother had a pair.
Is that for your E?
Over 2,000 guns in stock today at the best prices. Guaranteed. CX Gun, located in downtown Goshen at the corner of US 3.
Oh, come on. Really? Texting service went down. Oh, it's back up.
Come on. 20-year-old mattress, or maybe it's the second mortgage
also on.
to replace it. Either way, check out Elkhart Betting. At Elkhart Betting, we don't have easy payment plans or financing available. We don't need to. By eliminating the middleman, Elkhart Betting sells quality two-sided quilted and pillow top sleep sets factory.
Casey, I've done time, and I can tell you that 4 years with no human interaction would drive a sane man crazy.
Factory direct at Elkhart Betting.
Yeah, I think that's probably true for most people. I would probably be totally okay with it, but I like solitude. Others don't. Ooh, I got a network error on the Twitch. Hold up. I'm refreshing, making sure it works. I did not realize that Black Ops 4 does not have story mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
That was one of the major complaints about it. That's about it, though, because its multiplayer options were...
Yeah, because it's got the Battle Royale.
Blackout is one of the better Battle Royales here.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice, and it looks like it plays pretty smooth.
I've
It's
got
got
a
vehicles. It's got a fishing mini game.
A fishing mini game, really?
So.
Inside Blackout?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have a mini game inside the Battle Royale.
Yeah, in the so does Fortnite. Fortnite does too now.
Oh, that's interesting.
On the new map. On the new map it does.
Oh, okay.
Fortnite 2. In Fortnite 2,
Well, I'm not going to get into the new maps. Because they don't give the new maps away for free.
But in Blackout, near the lighthouse, you can fish and get weapons.
So while other companies might deliver a lot of
Interesting.
ZipRecruiter finds you the
How do you pick up the poll?
See why 4 out of 5
X,
employers who
probably
post
whatever
a
the
job on
interact button is.
Wow.
Or,
candidate within the first day.
oh, I guess it depends on what you're playing. Whatever the interact button is you have.
Okay.
Keep out.
Well, alrighty then.
Hi, this is Dwayne Miller with Good Faith Management, and I buy houses cash.
I may not
If you
play
own a
them.
house and want to sell it fast and
Sure
for a
as
fair
hell
price,
know
call me
enough
at
about
574.
I mean, I watch a couple of games that I don't play. Tracy says PUBG has an awesome zombie mode now. Oh, interesting. I haven't even...
on all the zombie mini game shit that you had.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really gotten into zombies. I've never gotten into zombies. Tim was a big zombies player.
Zombies was really popular. I don't know why. I never got into it. Never liked it.
I don't like the repetitiveness of it. It just, I don't know. It's
A lot of people
irritating.
like it because I think it was really mindless and it was really repetitive. And there's a lot of Easter egg stuff that you can do.
There is a lot of Easter eggs. I'll give it that. And I think the graphics are cool. I think it's fun once things actually start happening. But I don't like having to go back and do the same thing over and over. Yeah.
Like getting to that point is
You can set it so when you die as a human, you come back as a zombie. That is kick ass. That is awesome. I'm gonna have to go watch that. I haven't watched PUBG in a while.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. One of the YouTubers that I did watch.
Zombies are by definition mindless. Fair point. Although you're not a zombie.
It was always Nazi. I think that's like what started the stupid craze. Nazi zombies.
Right. So, Truth, she's not going to show up in your chat because she's on Twitch. So, she's not going to show up in your YouTube chat. She's only going to show up on my chat because I'm importing the Twitch comments onto YouTube. So, YouTube and Twitch, two different platforms, and I'm just not collating, consolidating the chat onto my website. So I've got to check that out because I know Tracy's got some really good PUBG players that she knows and pushes. So I got to go watch some of that stuff. I have watched Tracy play once, but she wasn't paying attention to the chat, and I was like, "Hello." Okay. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number
574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. So found a new use for my natural CBD lotion today. Itching skin. And not just because it's a lotion and it soothes your skin. I'm talking like you have some kind of a histamine itch or something of that nature. And it works really well for that. So, again, look, I mean, CBD, the research is pretty conclusive. The stuff works for minor aches and pains. If you are working out, you can use this before workout to help prevent, muscle soreness. After you work out, you prevent muscle soreness, obviously, for your post-workout. And people who have minor aches and pains, pinched nerves, things of that nature, it really helps. Some people say that it helps them when they sleep. There's some research that suggests that CBD will help you sleep. But this is a lotion. This is not an internal CBD supplement, so it's topical. But it's also a lotion, so it soothes and moisturizes your skin. It's not just oily like a CBD oil will be. But here's the beauty of it. It's inexpensive, and you get up to 500 milligrams of full-spectrum CBD. Now, full-spectrum, again, is what you want. You don't want isolate. There's some places out there who don't know anything about CBD who are telling you that they sell isolate. Run away from those places. Get full-spectrum CBD. Again, you can pick this up at allnaturalcbd.org. I get emails about this every single day from people who say this works great, and I also get people asking me where they can get it. So pay attention. allnaturalcbd.org. You can also go to any eSigWorks location. To get a discount, use the coupon code KC10. That's the number 10. So CASEY 10. KC10 to get 10% off. You can get that at allnaturalcbd.org or any local eSigWorks location. Again, you get a 4-ounce, 120 milliliter bottle, 250 or 500 milligrams of THC-free CBD, which is grown, harvested, produced, tested right here in the United States of America and is a veteran-owned company. allnaturalcbd.org. All right, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. So it was a matter of time. Somebody came up with a list verse post on why Epstein didn't kill himself. You ready for this? Look, there's a lot of people. Okay, Joe, did I or did I not start covering this and go, look, okay, these injuries are rare, but the experts say they can happen. So early on, I understand why people are skeptical, but you have to understand all of these things are possible. Yes, you can hang yourself with paper sheets. I still see people say you can't hang yourself with paper sheets. Yes, you can. Okay? I assure you, you can. So, Casey, how do you know that? Don't ask questions. So anyway, early on, I was pointing out that I understand why people are skeptical, but these are logical explanations, and they are possible, leading to the fact that maybe he killed himself. And then weird things just kept happening. And it just got to the point where I was like, forget it. I'm buying stock in tinfoil. There's no way that all of the stars lined up for this guy to kill himself. Just not possible, right? So somebody created a list verse post on 10 facts that will make you believe Jeff was murdered. No ones who did it. Number 8, Epstein was taken off of suicide watch. That is true, but it also is, okay, it is one of those things that could have been plausible, although unusual for him to have been taken off of suicide watch. His cellmate was transferred out the day before he died. Yep, thought that was weird. Epstein was left unobserved for hours. Remember they said the officers just fell asleep? They were supposed to be observing him. They just fell asleep. Right, one of the most secure prisons in the entire world. Number 5, Epstein's suicide may have been physically impossible. I disagree with that theory, ladies and gentlemen. And again, don't ask questions. Just know I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Number 4, Epstein's death was reported on 4chan before it was in the news. That also isn't a big deal because everybody predicted Epstein was going to get killed when he was arrested. Okay, everybody predicted that was going to happen, which is feeding the conspiracy. Okay, let's be honest. Anytime you have any information on the Clintons, the joke is, when are you going to be suicided? That's the joke. and then he was suicided. So you have all of these people going, I told you he was going to get killed by the Clintons, and then, of course, he died. Let's not forget that the left tried to say that Trump had him killed, too. And my question to that always was, why? He ran into the guy one time at a party, and he threw him out of his resort several years later. So anyway, number 3, his sex ring was successfully covered up years earlier. This is true. Number 2, Epstein had injuries on his wrists and arms. Also true. Experts say, number 1, experts say his wounds are more consistent with murder. Some experts do, but it also doesn't negate the fact that the wounds could happen if he was committing suicide, okay? So that was always an early one. They left out the most important part. How do you have a list of 10 things and don't include the fact that the cameras didn't record anything in the hallway at one of the most secure federal prisons in the world? This is literally where we send our top tier bad guys, okay? That was the one that I was like, okay, not only did all of the guards go to sleep and not check on him for several hours, but then the camera didn't record anything either. I don't think so. No, not going to happen. My Wise Cam at home records literally everything. I can't get away from the notifications on my phone. It records everything. If we have cameras in our Supermax prisons that go out periodically for hours at a time, we've got a big problem, okay? Don't buy it at all. Get your tinfoil hats now. We got more coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Keeping you connected with breaking news.
On the radio at 95.3 FM and online at
Impress read.
Huh?
Impress.
weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table Restaurant in Niles. Your family or group.
Oh, God. I am starting to stiffen up from that shoveling today. I didn't get my snowblower running yet.
Carl still needs to fix this, apparently. He doesn't have a pull cord on it, so he can get his started.
My pull cord sucks.
You know what my dad did when the pull cord broke on one of our lawnmowers? He took a drill, put it on the thing, and just got it. It was one of the stupidest things.
But did it work?
It worked.
There you go. It's not so stupid then.
It's so stupid to watch.
That's dad ingenuity right there. Somehow dads just find a way to make crap work.
He's like, hey, that bolt works.
It just needs to spin, right? Hold up. My old blower damn near took 2 of my fingers off with its pull cord. I pulled, and for some reason it went that way and it sucked my hand back in, and it just like filleted my fingers. Yeah, it sucked. Went out and bought a new snowblower after that.
Really?
Yeah.
That a fact.
And the pull cord still sucks. So.
Behind the scenes of any office or industrial build are numerous contractors tirelessly taking dreams from drawing board to reality with precision.
Yeah, I don't even think that I'll need to do that. I honestly just didn't even try because it's still like in my shed behind a bunch of crap. So I've got to take some stuff out and what's that? Well, and that's just it. I really didn't. I wasn't planning on pulling that thing out until December because I figured we'd have some light snow here, and I don't have a very big driveway, so I was just going to shovel it. I wasn't expecting it 18 damn inches. So I just didn't take it out and get it set up, ready to go. But I think the spark plugs are all good, and then I've got my carburetor starting fluid. That usually works, but I just wasn't planning on needing it at this point. So it's still buried behind like my generator and a bunch of other crap in my shed. And I was just too lazy to pull it out today because I knew I just had to dig everything out anyway. So I just dug it out, and I'll get it this week. And then it won't snow again for another 2 damn months.
It's all about the fun.
Up to 40? Well, hopefully it'll melt all this crap then. Seriously, what the hell, Elkhart? Elkhart didn't do jack for their roads, like, at all.
Yeah, I don't think there's any type of service warranty.
Like, there's nothing, right?
I was on Toledo.
There's no melt.
I was driving on Toledo. And it was
Yeah, no, like, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing.
the roads were nothing.
So Cassopolis, it's 2 lanes in each direction. The middle 2 were plowed. There's nothing on the far lanes. Nothing. So if you wanted to turn right into something, you had to wade through an ass ton of snow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think there was any salt on the roads or nothing. I mean, it was just stupid. Now, maybe it's because they thought that they just had a warrant or a watch because it was just a storm watch last night. You're live, John.
Okay, bye.
I mean, I just wanted you to know so you didn't.
Okay, bye.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Of all the questions you get asked every day, this one you shouldn't ignore. How much money in
But
your
not live.
401k or IRA is actually yours?
You mean turn it off?
Not what its current value is, but how
Yeah.
much of it will end
Okay,
up in
hold
your
on, folks.
pockets, not the government's.
We're
At
back in
Howard
like
Bailey, we
20
work with tax professionals.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. So, I know that a lot of you are starting to think about what you're going to do for the holidays. What kind of gift are you going to be able to get? Now, I know that many people like to compete. Who's going to outdo the other one for the gift this year? Now, I don't have anybody to actually compete with me on that. I always win, but that's because I'm the only one who really tries. But many of you have people who compete on who can give the best gift. Well, celebrate the season with Impress Jewelry Creations. You can save through the end of the year on almost the entire in-store collection. You can save from 25, 35, and up to even 40% off. At Impress Jewelry Creations, they take the time to understand your celebration and the meaning that it has for you. Well, a lot of us are shopping for the holidays. Some of you might have an anniversary or a birthday or some other special event to mementize, and you can do that with Impress Jewelry Creations. So again, they're phenomenal. This is where I got my anniversary present, and my wife was blown away by this. I've told you about the quality and the customer service that we've had. What I don't talk about enough, I think, is the feedback that I get from listeners who have gone to Impress Jewelry Creations. And I have listeners who have gone in with all sorts of budgets, people who don't have a lot and people who have a lot. And I get the same reaction from all of them. Actually, the people who go in there with not as much as some, they tend to have the better experience because they're not expected to be treated as well as they are. And they come out and they go, you know what? I didn't have that much to spend. And they treated me like I was one of their top dollar customers. That's just who they are. That's just who Impress Jewelry Creations is. You know, not everybody is going to have a ton of money to spend on this throughout their life. There will come a day when you will. And they want you to come back when you have that because they know that treating you right, doesn't matter what your budget, that is going to make you a lifelong customer. And they offer these amazing pieces that you can't get anywhere else. Yes, you can go to another store and you can get a lower quality piece that they've reduplicated with a lab over and over and over again for all of their thousands of locations. And you can buy the same thing that thousands of other people have, or you can go to Impress Jewelry Creations and get something that's unique and one of a kind that nobody else is ever going to own. Go to Impress Jewelry Creations, and again, let them know that I sent you, And you can find them online at impressjewelers.com, impressjewelers.com. And their address is 1233 University Drive. They're in City Plaza South in Granger, Indiana, right next to Temper Grill and C. Kramer Interiors. Of course, please let them know that I sent you. All right, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Psychology Today. But you've been following this over the past several years. Marriage is declining in the U.S. You're aware of this, right? Okay. Now, there are two lines of thought on this, okay? One is that women are gold diggers. Now, I'm not saying this, okay? The research professionals are saying this. They're saying that women don't find men who, by the way, do not outperform women in millennial years. Typically, you get married when you're a millennial, okay? That'd be the age bracket that you'd be getting married. And millennial women significantly outperform men in the workplace and salaries. Nobody talks about that, okay? But if you're going to talk about the wage gap, there's a significant one with women and men with millennials, and women outperform men by a wide margin. So what that has done is it has led women to believe that men are not financially viable partners, according to some research. Okay. Am I saying that I believe this research? No, because there's significantly more research that says something entirely different and is backed up by numerous studies, which I'll get to in just a minute. But there is a line of thought that women, primarily in the millennial age group, find men to not be financially viable as a partner. In other words, the women make more money, and therefore they don't want to marry the guy because the guy can't take care of them. Because even when women make more money, they still want a man to be able to financially provide should they decide to leave the workforce, okay? That's what some research shows. However, I have been in this business for 14 years, and in all 14 years, plus some, there has been a significant number of research papers published that are showing that American men are choosing not to get married. They're not wanting to get married and being declined by the women. It's that the men are choosing not to be married. For a long time, women were saying, well, that's just because men are dogs. And then to which men said, and that's why we don't want to get married, because people keep thinking that we're dogs and treating us that way, and therefore we don't want to actually get married. Enter Psychology Today. Do you know what's like rape, Joe? What's like rape? Not actual rape, but what is like rape? You have any idea? Asking your wife for sex. Yep, it's like rape. Gee, I wonder why American men don't want to marry American women. Do you know why 90 Day Fiancé is so popular? Do you know why there's so many? Every time I sit down and watch this thing, right? And initially when we started watching it, my wife had the same reaction. Like, why did all of these guys spend all this money to go find a woman over there? Like, they can't find anybody in their community? And I had to look at him like, sweetheart, I love you, but the American woman is not seen as desirable by many American men. Not that they're not attractive and great personalities. It's just that they're looking for a family dynamic and traditional value set. And it doesn't exist in the United States. It does exist in Russia and exists in Eastern Europe and places like that. Of course, you can get into the Asian countries and get it as well. But Psychology Today, I'm not even going to go into the whole article. Asking your wife for sex is just like rape. And you wonder why American men don't want to get married. Got more coming up. We're going to talk about the South Bend School Corporation. They finally told you how much money they want from you. We'll have that coming up next.
WTRC-FM and HD1, Niles, South Bend, Elkhart.
All right.
Fox News. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments.
It's not a DACA.
Look who's not outside.
I went to Menards today, and there was two people shoveling the sidewalk at Menards.
Both women?
Both women. Both women. And I would assume that there isn't a shortage of men in supply at Menards. Two women were outside pushing snow. For the record, whoever does the plowing for Menards and Elkhart deserves the city contract because that was the sweetest plow job I had ever seen in my entire life. It was an ice skating rink. It looked like it had a Zamboni going over it. It was so smooth. 'Twas amazing. What's that?
I would hope it's Zamboni. How do you say it?
Zamboni?
Zamboni. I would hope it's Zamboni. That would be
Well, that would make things slippery, but it looked pretty like that. Hashtag plowed.
Look, he's inside.
Oh, I'm shocked. The human forehead, known as Tom Coombs, is inside and not outside in the cold wet.
Wearing a Hitman suit today, black with a red tie.
Oh, he's actually.
Or is that Navy?
Or that's Navy. That's Navy. That's a preppy bitch suit.
That's what Trump wears.
I know.
Okay, this would be like Casey. That would be
Blue suit and red tie. I'm sorry, that's a bitch suit. All day long. Hey, look who else is wearing it. Jesse Waters. Little preppy bitch suit. I don't like blue suits and red ties. They just look stupid. Sorry, they just do. They look dumb.
This is Michiana's breaking news at Weather Station.
I would say been a fan of the Navy suit. I like the black, I like the gray.
I can't get behind Navy. There is so Apartment 9 makes a navy blue, but it's like almost like a really shiny shark skin like, and it actually looks sharp. But just your standard flat navy blue, I don't like it either. I don't know. I know it's classic. It's never going to go out of style, but it always looks dated to me.
Up to 18 inches.
Give me a good dark gray suit, man.
Dark gray, light gray, all black.
Before falling into the single digits tonight.
Tell us how you really feel, Casey. Mike, I can't, because even though the online content is unrated, YouTube is looking for any reason to censor me. That's true. Twitch is back up.
And with a national call for higher teacher pay, Penn Harris Madison has announced that their teachers will be making more money.
They've raised the starting salary for PHM teachers to $41,000 a year and increased the ceiling to just over $7,000.
Nice. Tracy, that's funny.
Thacker says a one-time funding increase to the teachers' retirement fund from the governor freed up extra money to go towards the pay increases. He said the PHM is committed.
I will say this. I have not traditionally been a major Honda fan, but that blue friggin' Sport Civic hatchback over there, have you seen that?
Yes. I've been eyeing
that car is pure sex, dude. That is a nice car.
It looks nice. I have no idea what's under it.
Is it an STI? Is that what it is?
No, STIs are Subaru.
No, those are Subarus. Crap. What do they call it?
It might just be an Accord that they've modded. Which is,
I think it's a Civic. I don't think it's an Accord. I think it's the Performance Civic. But I don't know what they're.
I have no idea what is under that hood. I bet it's not pretty.
All right, let's go find it. Well, okay. If you're talking about a tuner, though, you have to do the power to weight ratio.
I have no idea what.
But that car,
it's a Civic.
That car is so nice looking.
It looks so pretty. No idea.
And I'm not even a blue car fan, but every time I see that with the red calipers on it, dude, that thing's pretty.
Yeah, because I used to go down to that road and turn when I still worked at the store. So
I'm almost positive it's a Civic, but let me just double check.
It's probably a Civic.
Yeah, the Accords are sedan, so
I don't know why.
That's okay. It's a Honda.
I'm stupid. That's why.
You just assume it's an Accord. It's a Honda.
The Civic. Yeah.
Okay, so I would buy that car in a heartbeat if I had a ton of money. But then again, if I had the money to buy that car, I would just take the same sum of money and buy a new truck.
Speaking of car, I saw a legitimate Lamborghini in Elkhart.
Yeah, there's a couple around here. I haven't seen any Elkhart yet.
I drove by one by Antonio.
Really?
It was sitting at that.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Beautiful black, and I drove right by it. And I was like,
do you know what kind it was?
No, I couldn't tell.
Okay.
I don't know my Lamborghinis that well. They all kind of look the same.
Oh, you racist. They do not.
I can identify a Diablo pretty easily, but that's because. Yeah, exactly. It's the only reason.
You just want to write the password down.
Oh, sorry.
Install quickly.
At Quicken
Don't do
Loans,
it
our
to
17,000
I
team
know,
members
I know.
know
All
that
your
home is so
information
much
and
more than a
framing.
house. That's because our clients tell us all the time. Hey, this is Jay Farner, CEO of
Not
Quicken
so much
Loans,
that
and
as
we want to help
Don't judge
you
me.
save money
don't do
on
things.
your mortgage.
Everybody says that when they give me their
Don't
password.
judge me.
Rates ever.
Never do
Rates
that.
are historic.
I never do that.
I never-
That's what I said when I was in IT. No, we don't judge you for no, don't judge you at all.
Some credit card debt, or put some money
NON.
towards that new bathroom or kitchen you've always
NON.
wanted. The
That's
rate
fine
today
right
on
here.
our 30-year
It's a 9.
fixed rate
Yeah.
mortgage
Okay.
is
Thank you.
3.99%.
We know four of the characters, ladies and gentlemen.
You still ain't gonna get it.
We don't know how long
Still
it is.
ain't-
We know
still ain't gonna
we
get
know
it.
It's at least 4 characters.
We so many prom jokes. We don't know how long it is, but it's at least 4 characters. I have an energy drink in me. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Civics are common mod because they're cheap to buy and you can mod them. They're never that nice, but that's the
That is a really nice one. Yeah. And I think they had a black one a couple of months back that I was eyeballing too.
Your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Excuse me. Had to hiccup. All right. We finally know how much money the South Bend School Corporation wants from you. There's a reason that I went over their budget. There's a reason I went over their spending. There's a reason I pointed out that they are not losing money every single year, okay? There's a reason that I did that. Was it 2-3 weeks ago? There's a reason I did it. So you understood that they were not losing cash. They're actually being pretty fiscally responsible for a school district that basically has half the population for the number of students it was built to have, okay? So I think they were built to have, 25,000? And they have, I think it was 16,000 students or something like that. Maybe 13, but for some reason 16 is jumping out at me, and I don't have the article in front of me. So there's some things that have to happen with the South Bend School Corporation. We'll get to that here in just a second. First, I want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. If you mention me, you get 50% off your range time, which means you get to buy a box of house ammo, which you already get a discount on anyway because you mentioned me, so you get 10% off in the store. So you save money on the range, you use that money to buy the ammo, but you're also saving money on the ammo. Get my drift? It's like a snowball. It's a whole snowball effect of boomstickery. So go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. When you use our house ammo, you're going to buy more of it. I guarantee it. Stuff is phenomenal. All right. Are you ready? The South Bend School Corporation, which is griping and complaining that it's losing $12 to $13 million because those students no longer go to school there, not because of any budgetary cuts or anything like that. No school district's getting cut, okay? That's something, this Red for Ed crap. No school districts getting cut. They are simply not having those students anymore. And you don't get paid to teach students that you don't have. So if you don't have those students, you don't get the dollars that come in per student, right? From the federal or the state level. But the South Bend school officials are asking voters to approve nearly $75 million in referendums for facilities, teacher pay increases, and more. $75 million bucks. When they hit the polls in May, voters in the South Bend Community School Corporation District will be asked to vote on a referendum seeking to raise $74.8 million for the school system's facilities and operations. Didn't I just go over that they have more buildings than they need, Joe? Maybe get rid of some of those buildings you don't need anymore. And then you don't need to ask people for money to maintain buildings that don't have any students in them. Remember, it's a school district built to have, I guess it was 25,000, I think 25 or 26,000. And they don't have nearly that many. You don't need all of those facilities. Okay. Will that make things a little bit more difficult for parents getting their kids to school? Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm sorry. But You don't maintain buildings you don't need. That's a waste of money. That's something the military does. They love to maintain buildings they never use. Costs a lot of taxpayer dollars to do that, by the way. South Bend officials are asking voter approval of property tax hikes that would raise $20.8 million per year over 8 years for the district's operations budget and an additional $54 million for capital improvements. The referendum would appear as only one question on the ballot, but the money would be split into the two separate funds. If voters approve the spring referendum, property taxes would increase by 39 cents for every $100 of assessed value. Cue the whole, oh, it's just the cost of a pizza argument. That they love doing that. It's just the cost of a pizza per month. But you can't live without one pizza per month for kids' education. You can't do that. The owner of a home that with an assessed value of $100,000 would pay an additional $390 a year in taxes. So I don't know how many of you want to add $390 plus to your annual tax bill. We're asking the taxpayers to continue paying what they are paying, so it's not really much of an increase. Is $390 per year for a $100,000 home an increase, Joe? We're just asking them to pay the same as what they're paying. It's not really an increase, really, because if you have a $100,000 home, it's $390 more. And there's a whole lot of people in the South Bend School Corporation that have homes that are more than $100,000. Just throwing it out there. They always use that, though. It's really not. You're not really paying. No, it's 39 cents. Big whoop. 39 cents adds up. You know, it's always funny when the government comes to you and says, it's only 39 cents. You can afford 39 cents, can't you? And you look at them and you go, you can cut 39 cents, can't you? And they always say no. Isn't that weird? They never want to cut 39 cents, but they're always willing to shame you for not wanting to spend 39 cents. And we know that they're operating under budget. Their operations budget, they have money left over. Their education budget, they have money left over. We know that they have too much real estate for the size of the school district now. We know that. And we know that people are fleeing the school district in droves because they don't want their kids educated there. So again, it comes back to the old argument. Okay, cool. You want an extra $75 million. Why should we give it to you? And their response to that is, well, because we suck. And if we don't want to suck, we need more money. We only suck because we don't have enough money. And then you will point out that other school districts around you have less money and they outperform you. So how can they do it, but you can't? And then we're caught in the same old circle over and over and over and over again. So I don't live there. I'm probably never going to live in the city limits of South Bend. I mean, I learned real quick when we moved here and we were looking around, that was the city that I wanted to avoid. Okay? So that's just how it is. The government there is crap. I'm sorry, it's garbage. There's some nice people in government there. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it is trash. Anyway, when the circuit break comes off, that is exempt debt. So each taxpayer will get a credit. So all we are asking is for them to continue to pay what you were paying and an additional 2 cents. Boy, that is some creative fake math right there. That's some Common Core math. They're asking for $75 million more. So on average, if you have a $100,000 home, it's $390 a year. But they're saying, no, really, you're going to get some credits when the circuit breaker comes off, and then you just really have to pay 2 cents.
How did we get from there to there? I think the phrase is show your work.
This is exactly like my kids' math homework. I mean, it is exactly like it. Okay? 2 plus 2 is 4, but you can't just do that. You've got to do this roundabout thing, and then really the answer is 1. And you don't know why the answer is 1. Somehow it's 1. Part of the referendum money will go towards the district's operating fund. It will be used for salary increases for teachers and principals. I went over the salaries yesterday. The average salary in South Bend is low. Okay? It is. Now, again, based on the breakdown of young teachers versus senior level teachers, I don't have that data. So the number for average salary could be skewed, okay? But South Bend School Corporation's, the average salary is far less than I think it's $50,000 or something like that. No, it was less than that. Elkhart was $50,000. So it was in the 40s, it was in the high 40s. The average salary for everybody in the state of Indiana is $54,000. That is the median salary. And if you look at the school districts, the average salary around this area, South Bend does fare pretty bad there. Okay, so South Bend teachers could probably use a pay raise. The hiring of additional counselors, stupid investment. College coaches, stupid investment. And social workers, stupid investment. To each building and technology infrastructure and security updates in district classrooms. We can get behind some of the technology, some of the infrastructure, and some of the security updates, but we have to have details on that before we sign off on them. The second part, specifically the capital, will go towards the $117 million in deferred maintenance. Roofs and heating and air conditioning systems would be replaced and secure entries would be installed. For example, at all schools, I can get behind the secure entry thing. And I want to point out, though, could some of these buildings be consolidated and then not have to have the expense on some of the other buildings? It also would be used to do building modifications and improvements for right-sizing the district. Okay, we can have a talk about that. What is right-sizing the district? Is that making the district smaller because you have too many buildings now? Again, this is a district built to withstand over 10,000 more students than they currently have. That's not coming back anytime soon. So you don't need to have a school district designed for 26,000 students. Sorry, South Bend is not the Cinderella story that Pete Buttigieg is telling the national public about. South Bend school officials are asking city residents to approve additional tax support as the district's operations fund designated for building maintenance and improvements and transportation is expected to see a revenue loss of nearly $13 million due to the upcoming state-mandated circuit breaker property tax caps. Which, again, actually has to do with the number of students. We went over this already. But so if you're in South Bend, they want $75 million from you. But you're going to get a credit. And so you're only going to pay 2 cents. When you pass this, and you will, because you're South Bend, I'm not even fighting the good fight on this, because you're South Bend, I already know what you're going to do. Okay. When you, there's no reason. Why should I spill my energy into this? I already know how it's going. Okay. I already know how it's going. I want you to remember, okay? Take the value of your property in South Bend right now. For those of you who are city residents, take the value of your property, the last assessment you have. And I want you, okay, to do the 39 cent per $100 assessed value of this thing, because that's the tax, okay? 39 cents. And I want you to write that number down, okay? And then I want you to do the 2 cents per $100 math, okay? And I want you to write that number down. Now, at the end of the first year that this is fully in effect, when you get your property tax bill, I want you to go ahead and call back on this program and tell me if it was closer to the 39 cents tax increase that you got or closer to the 2 cents tax increase that you got, okay? And then we'll just do it the old-fashioned way, Joe. No carrying the one, no factoring in how fast Gilbert Gottfried can ride in the Aflac car round a roundabout. None of the stupid new math crap. Just write down those two numbers. And at the end of the first year that this is implemented, because you'll pass it, I want you to call back on the show and tell me if the school lied to you by telling you you're only going to pay 2 cents in additional tax per $100 instead of 39. Okay? Because let's be honest, they're lying out of their backside. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
contracts with like every school.
Okay, so I did make a mistake. Somebody asked me about it in the chat. I thought the $54,000 was the median income, but it is household income. So I apologize. Got that wrong. Speaking of automobiles, which we were doing in the commercial break of the live stream, 574-2595, 95.3, Z-Bar to South Bend. So some of you may or may not have noticed that there was some light snowflakes today. And as a result of that, some municipalities, not Elkhart, but some municipalities decided to salt their roads. And when you have snow and you have salt and all of that stuff, it tends to create what Z-Bart calls a corrosion cocktail. And that is where it creates this street goblin that eats the underside of your car. So if you go to Z-Bart of South Bend, not any other one, but Z-Bart of South Bend, they can clear the rust away. This is a question I actually got. Somebody said, my boss told me that it doesn't matter because my car is already old, so it doesn't make any sense to go to Z-Bart and get the rust prevention because my car already has rust. That's why they have a rust removal service. So you can go to Z-Bart to South Bend, and they can go ahead and fix any rust that you have under your car and then apply the rust protection to your undercarriage. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Go to Z-Bart of South Bend. Let them know that I sent you, please. Get your vehicle prepared. Okay, so $54,181 is the median household income. My apologies. I thought it was the individual income, but that was the median household income. All right, to the phone lines we go. Wendy, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Hi there.
How are you?
What's up?
Hi. So I've always paid my property tax through my escrow before, so I've never actually paid my taxes.
Right.
But we bought a house this year, and we paid cash for it. We own it outright, so I had to go wait in line this morning to pay the bill.
Okay.
And while I was standing there waiting in line, I'm looking at the bill, and realized that I had to pay 7.5% sales tax on my way overestimated property tax bill. It never occurred to me that they're charging sales tax on top of the property tax.
Now, okay, is that just because you bought the house and so you've got the sales tax that goes on to it, or is that just a sales? Do you have a sales tax on your tax?
Yes, it's my property tax bill. It gives you the total amount for the year, and then the spring bill is this much, tax is $43, and then the fall bill is this much, tax $43.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Okay, so your property tax bill was how much? Do you mind me asking?
It was about $1,100.
Okay, so you got $1,100, and then you had to pay a 7% tax on the $1,100.
$7.5. It was $43 each spring and fall.
Oh, okay, all right, 7.5.
But still, I'm paying tax on tax. Come on, really?
Oh man, I love Indiana, but dang, they get real creative in how they rob you of money. I mean,
no one ever notices because you don't actually pay it. You pay it through your escrow, so you don't.
Yeah,
see it.
and that's
You
the
don't look at
easiest. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. You know, and then you don't have to forget about it, and then you don't have stories like we talked about yesterday, where Michigan Supreme Court is talking about. They're hearing a case where a property was seized over $8.31 of property taxes not paid, that had $285 in total fines, and they took the property and sold it for over 20. Right, they sold it for like $24,500, and they kept the profits. So yeah, you just paid an escrow and you don't have to worry about it, right? So, I didn't realize it.
Anything.
I did not realize they were charging you sales tax on your tax. That's oh, geez.
Yep. Look at your bills.
Interesting. Well, we're getting ready to buy one in Indiana, so this is luckily.
Don't go South Bend. Maybe
so
it's just South Bend.
So you are city limits, or are you in county?
No, I'm actually in Granger. We bought a rental house in South Bend.
Okay, so you've got the rental house. Now,
well, we bought it for a family member. So
okay. So is it possible that 7.5% that they charge you for the sales tax is because it was an income property?
I don't know. I just was standing in line today and about freaked out that I was paying tax on the tax.
Either way, I guess it's a little concerning, but yeah.
Yeah, whether I'm going to go look at my other bill now, but I mean, does it really matter whether we're using it as a rental property? No,
it doesn't. I was just trying to be weird and brainiacy by it. You know, my old real estate mind is coming back and going, okay, is it just because it's an income property and therefore it's considered an investment? That's why they're taxing it versus your primary residence. I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous either way. You're right. I'm just getting a little too
I'm going to
little
go
too in
look
thought
up
on
the
it.
primary residence tax, and I'll get back to you on
Yeah,
whether
that's
it's on both.
I'm interested because that is shady.
It is very shady. This is on top of all the appeals and the over
Yeah.
and everything else that is.
Well, and here's the thing. We have
Mayor Pete.
Well, yeah. We have to look at this referendum. So it was just announced. So we don't actually have the referendum in front of us. And typically the referendums hit income properties a lot more than primary residences. So you're likely going to get shafted if this passes more so than somebody who just owns their house in South Bend. So keep an eye on this because you have an income property in the city limits. So this may
it's not
affect
really
you a lot more.
income. It's not really an income. We're not really charging him anything other than
I
to live
understand.
there 'cause it's family.
But
so.
they consider it an income property, right? Because
Correct. So maybe we'll have to
right.
charge him
I
more.
get it. You're just trying to do a nice thing for a relative, but they consider an
Right.
income property, which means
Right.
it's going to get really nailed with this. And I haven't
Right.
seen it yet, but I know that in Elkhart, if it was an income property or rental property, you were really getting hammered with that referendum. So keep an eye on it. Congratulations on buying a house. At least you paid cash. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that hurt us. I don't know, but whatever.
yeah, I don't know either. But pay attention to this because you might really get nailed on that property if this thing
will.
passes. So
I think we will.
all right, I wish you the best.
Well, thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you so much.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
Wendy. I appreciate it. I did not know that they charge tax on tax. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
This is
A tax on a tax. That's funny.
I'm Tommy Lee in the MNC News Center, and among
Casey, what can we do then? Vote and get active. I mean, dude, that's all you can do. You can pour over their finances and you can ask them why they need all of this money. And that's all you can do, folks.
Hello again.
You. Is it chaos now?
You're good. Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
cold today has had temperatures barely reaching 25 degrees.
And no, I did not know that my finger had slipped down and did the starting soon thing. So you missed all of my witty commentary the last commercial break. But just know, ladies and gentlemen, it was funny.
Since August, hitting 22%.
Finn says, I couldn't believe those roads are ridiculous. Dude, Elkhart just straight up flipped everybody in the city off. I was
Yesterday,
shocked
I
at how
like,
bad it
okay,
was.
That kind of makes sense. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere a little bit.
It did.
And
And you know, John was saying, he's like, well, you guys were only supposed to have a watch last night, and so maybe.
But it was snowing all freaking night.
And it did. It started at like 10 or 11 o'clock last
It
night,
snowed about 4 a.m.
and it just kept snowing all night long.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like
And they
to
didn't do
clarification?
anything. Their roads were crap.
Can I ask what you're calling about, please?
Moving on.
Unfortunately, sir, he's moving on from that topic. We just don't have the time to continue on it. But you can call us Friday at 4 o'clock during open line, so you can take your call then.
Tracy. I didn't even see that, Tracy. Honda Civic is too small for sex. It's a hatchback. Maybe you can make it work. I don't know. God.
All right, I will pass it on.
It's a Type R. It's a nice car. Tracy said the Honda Civic is too small for sex. Oh, God. I said it's a hatchback. I mean, you might, maybe, you might be able to make it work. I don't know.
Apparently, according to the caller, schools can, if they're like getting shut down, have to be shut down by the Department of Justice, and then the district still has to maintain the program to justice.
Okay.
Apparently.
So the Department of Justice wouldn't have to shut it down. That doesn't make sense.
I'm just telling you what I was told. I'm just
That
a
is-
messenger.
Okay. That doesn't sound right. But even if you had to maintain it for 2 years, you do a 2-year referendum to cover maintenance costs for the 2 years, and then it drops. I'm just saying, if you have a school district that's designed for 10 to 15,000 more students than you have, you consolidate. there's not an argument to keep that many buildings. Now, if the district wanted to be enterprising, what they could do is lease the buildings out. But, you know, things and stuff and economics. If some of these schools taught economics, they might know what to do with their budgets.
President Trump delivering a speech today at the Economic Club of New York. The Dow closing unchanged.
All right, South Bend counselors and social workers are needed because of kids with disabilities. All right, I'll cede that. I'd have to look at it more, but generally speaking, counselors are usually a waste of money. But I will defer to your wife and her expertise on that. They sold a bunch of schools in Brandywine. Well, I mean, look, if you don't need the buildings, you don't need the buildings. And then you don't have to maintain those buildings. You can keep the profits from the sale of those buildings. And all of those things can go fund the counselors and everything else. So, but that's just it. They don't try to do that. They just try to suckle more money out of the taxpayer.
Candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
Malfunction can wreck your plans and shut down your office or facility. Let's be blunt. You don't have time for downtime. You need the confidence that comes with the commitment to excellence found at Final Phase Electric.
Unfortunately, sir, we're moving off from that topic. You can call us Friday at 4 o'clock during open lines. You can take your call then.
With a professional assessment that grows into a full-scale preventative maintenance schedule. Using advanced tools like thermal imaging cameras can help us identify issues that haven't even popped up yet.
Sure thing.
We even provide 24-hour emergency service. Ask yourself, has my business grown beyond our current resources? Are we pushing our electrical setup too hard and running the risk of shutdowns? Does the lighting in my facility create a safe working environment for my staff? One call does it all. 574
GOP freshman Dan Bishop is the first lawmaker to publicly out Charamella.
Commercial solutions for every industry. Let us take the guesswork out of your project and help you sleep easy. Find us on Facebook or visit finalphaseelectric.net.
George Faber here with B-Window. Go to bwindow.com to see our huge truckload patio and entry door sale. Plus 12 months, no payments, no interest.
A school passed out flyers to 7-year-old kids discussing implants, pills, condoms, and more.
Buying that car, having a child.
To 7-year-olds.
Getting away from the rat race, if only for a little while. Now you can add another.
My 7-year-old still thinks that two people who like each other get married. She wants to marry her best friend, but she likes boys.
You'll feel good about your decision.
But hey, let's go ahead and teach them about breast implants. Let's do that.
To find a community near you.
Through the Next Level Roads Plan, the Indiana Department of Transportation is investing more than $60 billion improving and maintaining Indiana's highways over the next 20 years to keep our economy moving and make your drive safer and smoother. Do your part to keep everyone safe. Slow down in work zones. Put your cell phone and pay attention. Download the INDOT mobile app to learn about road projects and traffic conditions. Available in the App Store and on Google Play. And visit nextlevelroads.com.
From the Final Phase
Here we go.
Electric Studios. First step to the final phase. Industrial and commercial electrical done right. This is Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. And please put MNC at the beginning of that message. We'll let you know that Roland, one of my listeners on the live stream, did say that I was wrong about South Bend schools. They definitely need more counselors and social workers because of some of the kids who have issues both mentally and at home. So I will cede that point to them and still point out that they need to get rid of some of these buildings and consolidate because this is, like I said, it's a school district designed for way more students than they have, and they're not getting those students back anytime soon. So they're going to have to adapt. Casey, there are all kinds of double taxes. Lottery is a good example. Buy tickets with taxed dollars, and the winner pays taxes on the spot. On the pot, excuse me. House always wins. So, it is what it is. Speaking of taxes, though, I have your new tax brackets for 2020 since we're approaching the end of the year and a lot of you are going to start thinking about your taxes and businesses in particular. So the IRS has released the federal tax rates and income brackets for 2020 on Wednesday of last week. The 7 tax rates remain unchanged, while the income limits have been adjusted for inflation. Tax rates in the U.S. are marginal, meaning that different levels of the same person's income are taxed at different rates. If you and your spouse earn $80,000 in 2020 and are married, filing jointly, for example, the first $19,750 of that will be taxed at 10%, and the income over $19,750 will be taxed at 12%. The 2020 tax brackets affect the taxes that will be filed in 2021. So here we go. Up to $19,750, you're in 10%. $19,750 to $80,250, you're at 12%. $80,250 to $171,050, you're at 22%. Then up from there up to $326,600, you're at 24%. Then up to $414,700, you're at 32%. Then up to $622,050, you're at 35%. And then if you earn over $622,050, you are taxed at 37%. Those are married filing joint. If you are unmarried and you're an individual, up to $98,750, you're at 10%. From there to $40,125, you're at 12%. From there to $85,525, you're at 22%. From there up to $163,300, you're at 24%. From there up to $207,350, you're at 32%. From there up to $518,400, you're at 35%. And then over $518,400, you're at 37%. Then, of course, you have your head of household, married individuals filing separately, but I'm not going to go into all of those. I will put it in the daily show prep at theburningtruth.us for you to break down what your tax brackets are. We've got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
I think they got moved around on me. That's why I keep clicking on the wrong one. Sorry, folks. Ouch. Thank you. That's right. You're going to start doing that for me. Awesome. What is today?
And only getting to the upper 20s by the afternoon. There's a chance of flurries Wednesday night. Mostly cloudy Thursday, a high of 34. Back in the teens Thursday night. 34 and sunny on Friday, and then falling back in the teens again for early Saturday. Saturday is a nice day, mostly sunny. The high 36 will finally get back to 40 by Sunday with partly cloudy skies. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist John. Hi, this is Dwayne Miller.
Finally picked up an external DVD drive so I can actually install my work software. No, I am not going to Bruno's today. Not today. Next week, I'll be at Bruno's.
I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy even more. Call me at 574-294-5678. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant will pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying damaged houses too. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house, I want to sell it fast. 574-294-5678 for a cash offer today. That's 574-294-5678.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that...
Okay, guess I'm going to Bruno's. Family just decided we're going to Bruno's.
And mentors all on your schedule. Open doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text DRIVE to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today.
Joe's mean, keeps telling these people to get lost and call back on Friday. They keep calling about crap that we're not talking about.
Offered 100% online. Text DRIVE to
Let's see.
79645. That's DRIVE.
Yeah, I could imagine there's probably several with mental issues.
With so many college and pro games on the slate, the DraftKings Sportsbook app can make your weekend even better. Actually, now that I think about it, with all the hoops and hockey action going on, the DraftKings Sportsbook app can get you in on the action 24/7, 365 days a year.
800
is America's top-rated
south
sportsbook
of that.
app, and with so much going on, they have great promotions running all month long. This week, DraftKings has a pro football promo
All right.
you won't want to miss. It's simple.
Okay.
Place a bet on the Colts to win and get $6 for every touchdown they score. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the code word WTRC. For a limited time, all new and existing users can get a deposit bonus up to $500. That's code WTRC for all new and existing users to get a deposit bonus up to $500. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Indiana. Deposit
Got it.
requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See site for
Guess I'm going to Bruno's, folks. So if you want to go to Bruno's in Elkhart.
There's a Tank Power Wheels.
Does it shoot a Nerf dart?
No, but I'm sure you can mod it to do so.
Because if it shot a Nerf dart, that would be amazing.
The barrel on it has an orange tip. It might fire something.
It has an orange tip, huh? Because you can't have a Power Wheel be mistaken for a real tank, Joe. Jesus. God, what do they want? Why do they keep calling?
Your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. South of 800 East, about half a mile, there is a car on fire. Oh, wait. South of 800 East? Say it on the thing. I can't understand what you're saying.
So east of 800, there's about there's a car on fire half mile east of 800.
So there's a car on fire a half a mile east of 800.
Yes.
Because that's not what that says.
Right. That's why he called back.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, so he's fixing. Okay.
Yes.
I got you. Okay. So there's a car on fire. So you want to avoid that. And be careful on those roads out there, especially if you're in places like, Elkhart, where they didn't do anything for the roads. Might be a bit of a sore spot as a new resident there. You know what? I'm kind of glad the whole government got shifted out because if that's how things are going to be run, holy smokes. I'm kidding. All right. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. I want to thank everybody for hopping back on the live stream today because we did get the live stream back up and running. So we're on YouTube again at Casey the Host. Twitch at Casey the Host. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you have not on YouTube. And it's more important than ever, especially with the new terms of service, which we'll probably go over tomorrow, because now they're saying if you're not commercially viable, they can delete your entire channel. We already know that I'm not commercially viable because they have demonetized my entire channel. So it's possible that they'll delete my entire channel. So let's just give them one extra up yours and subscribe to my channel to irritate them. Also, if you go to theburningtruth.us, I embedded the live stream on my website today. So you'll be able to actually watch the live stream on my website going forward. We'll be able to do that if that's more comfortable for you. But I want to thank everybody for doing that. Thank you so much. Appreciate your patience with the live stream situation. It is now time for the O'Reilly Update with Bill O'Reilly.
It fires the dart.
It does fire a dart?
Yes.
Because you can't make a Power Wheel tank without firing a dart, dude. That's amazing.
It fires a dart.
Oh, my God. How much?
$398.
That's it? $400? Sold.
24-volt battery, 2-seater.
I am all about that.
Comes with a electric minigun, like shoots a light and everything.
I am all about that. See, if the minigun shot those little pellet Nerfs,
you could
I can't do that, right? If it shot those little pellet Nerfs, can't do that, right? Then it would be even better. That's amazing.
It comes with how many is that? It comes with 5 darts that you can load.
It comes with 5 darts.
Yeah, that you can load up into it.
Dude, I am all about this.
Oh, and it loads into it from like the top, so you put it in and you close it and you fire it. That's cool.
So you can do it while you're driving. So you don't need to get in the front. You can load it. Dude. Daniel's like, I would Tim Allen the F out of that. Yeah. That sounds amazing. It's $400 though.
I think it's got a light up console. I can't really tell from these pictures.
I am all. You know what? Hold on. Let me just find a link to it. I'm just going to share it with you. Power Wheels tank.
It's called the Thunder Tank Ride-On. Working cannon and rotating turret.
Dude.
In stock at the Mishawaka.
Mishawaka Walmart's got it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Apparently there's a couple of tanks out there.
Well,
some of them are like Russian.
This is this one comes with you can tow it.
Dude, this is amazing.
Are you looking at the Walmart one? Because this one's a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah. It's I'm looking at the WKDQ Walmart story.
Yeah.
This is glory action wheels. It's not Power Wheels. Action. Oh, there's a video.
Yeah, I call it Power Wheels.
Did you see the video?
I did not see it.
Oh my God! And guess what? They totally went woke because there's 2 little girls in it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what would happen in my household.
I did see that.
Hold on. I'll share a link in a minute. Hold on a second. I gotta watch this thing. Oh. Dude, that thing is slick looking, man.
It's nice.
Oh, the darts are right there in the back. Yep. So you got a gunner and everything. Oh, boys versus girls. That's what's happening. Okay.
You load it in there and then you just press the button.
There are so many reasons to
Feel the thunder. Dude.
That's a web
that
shot, but that's great.
That is this is amazing.
I love it. Oh, it moves. It
rotates. The turret rotates.
Oh,
this is
man.
Glorious. Are you kidding me?
That is great.
I am all about this thing right now.
The Thunder Tank.
Wow. Okay. I still hate Walmart, but this, ladies and gentlemen, hold on a second. This is, hurry up. Come on. Come on, go back to my chat. What the hell, internet?
Slow.
I'm trying, people. I'm trying to share this with you, but it's not letting me. Why are you not letting me do this? What's going on here? Come on. Dude. Not okay.
Can you just
It's
do
not
it in here?
Yeah, I can do it in there, but then I got to go find it. All right, here we go.
My name's Dave Titus.
Boom. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome. Yes, I've seen the rubber band minigun. Also on my list. There's some 3D printed versions of that too that I keep meaning to make, but there's a lot of parts.
Sitting around the campfire with your wife in the evening there with your kids, or taking that stroll on the beach, or having that private weekend that it really didn't cost you hardly any money, but you had a great time. My salespeople.
Yeah, that friggin' tank. That is awesome. I love that.
Where they're wanting to go, how they're going to use it, and we try to make it reasonable.
$400. I mean, that's only like one pizza a month. It's basically 2 cents per $100, Stymie. Because you get a discount. So bad. You suck so bad. Oh, my God. Oh.
Yesterday marked the 100th-year anniversary of the New York City Veterans Day Parade.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. We're not going to monetize your channel or your videos. Also, YouTube, we're going to delete your channel if it's not making any money. Yup. And I want to share with everybody the email that I got with them about their updates and their terms of service, because they made it sound like they were just making it easier to understand. And really, they changed all of their terms of service on everybody. But the email that they send out is, oh, we just updated some language to make it easier to understand. And that's it. And you go, oh, okay. And then you find out that they can delete your channel at any time just because it's not making money. All right, I'm going to have to bounce out of here because apparently my family is going to be meeting me at Bruno's. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for being patient with the live stream and for joining the live stream again. Because, sorry, I was distracted by something I just saw. So anyway, we appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Looks like everything works good. I'll change the input settings on the station audio to microphone tomorrow instead of line in. That should help with the weird mono audio that some of you are getting. So hopefully that'll fix that tomorrow and everything will be great. But thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. And you have a wonderful